Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Downtown the Downstar, episode 144, and today we are here with Jason Park, FCS. Third time, brother.
Again, third time's a charm.
You know, it seems like you were just in here, but then I looked, and it was October 3rd, episode 104, man.
Yeah, man, you're just like you're running a tight ship, man. You're consistent, that's for sure.
That's one thing that always comes up with success is consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And I know that if I want this podcast to be a success, then I got to be consistent.
Yeah. That's the way it's always been, man. You just gotta get after it, you know.
Yeah. So October, a lot's happened since then in that short amount of time.
Yeah, man. Where the fuck has 2019 gone?
Right, dude.
Dude, we're in 2020. It's a new decade. A whole bunch of new shit's going on. Whole bunch of fucked up shit's going on.
I know, man.
Like the world is caving in within us, and we don't even have a fucking clue.
Well,
right?
if you think about it, from 2010 to 2020, those 10 years were fucking nuts.
Light speed, bro.
Right?
Like huge strides.
So this new decade, bro, it's just fucking going.
Yeah.
Just think about January, right?
Sure.
The beginning of January, what happened? We were at war with Iran. What the fuck happened to that? Did we win?
Yeah, the news and the world stories move as fast as your Instagram page, bro.
Yeah.
That's how fast shit moves right now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, I think about it, and I tried to think about what happened in 2019. A lot of fucked up shit happened, at least for us. But
yeah.
But just the world in general, it's moved so fucking fast, man. Everything, like technology to fucking having massive strides in AI and
shit.
All this other shit that I've been looking at. And hey, I think everybody lives in their own bubble.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
We're somewhat confined in our own little comfort zone, and we're in a routine, right? You don't really kind of veer out of that lane too much. You're just kind of day to day, wake up, do your thing, normal routine, go to work, come home, take a shit, shower, shave, whatever it is. And the world literally fucking passes you by if you don't fucking look at your phone, right? And I just tend to not try to. And dude, like some of the stuff I only see on Facebook is the news that I'll get.
Yeah.
So if the world is in an apocalypse and there's a fucking asteroid come to Earth in like 36 hours, I'm going to go to work at 9 a.m.
So you're disconnected that much?
Yeah. Like it just doesn't register to me until somebody goes, dude, man, we're going to die. I said, well, I got to get this shit done. So call me at 6 o'clock.
I got to make sure I make UPS before we die.
Yeah. I'm just on that mode,
Well, let me go ahead and inform you what's going on. The coronavirus is going to kill us all.
Oh, fuck, man. It's like, okay, so that's one story that I don't even think a lot of people believe. When I had this dream, like we'll get back to that later, but I had this dream about the apocalypse when I was very young, and I didn't even know that was a thing, right? So it was basically the four horsemen, the book of Revelations. I had a dream about that shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the fucking book of Revelations were.
What was the dream?
Dude, the dream. Okay, you want to get into this right now?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I think I was like 11 and 12 years old.
Okay.
I'm still living in the same area that I'm living, Porter Ranch. I normally go out, play in the golf course. I was in a predominantly nice neighborhood. We had like a little pond, like down the street from the house that I met you at.
Yeah.
And I used to go fishing there all the time. Right? So anyway, back to the story, right? I go to bed. My cousin's over, right?
Is this the same night that you saw the UFO, bro?
Nah, man. This is way well, pretty close proximity, but years apart, right? Still the same house though.
Okay.
So go to bed that night. I have this pretty interesting fucking dream, right? I wake up and normal shit, summertime, don't have to go to school. In my dream, I go to my buddy's house. He's not home. And it's like 5 p.m., right? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, sorry. Let me retract. I get up afternoon, do the normal stuff that I do, you know, fucking in my dream. I'm just doing, it's doing random shit, playing video games or doing whatever it might have been. I go out to the golf course. I go play out in the golf course. I don't hear any birds. I don't see any animals. I usually chase down rabbits, do the shit every day like I'm doing this in summertime. So all those details weren't in the dream. And then I go, what the hell is going on, right? So I go to my friend's house. I take my bike. I ride my Robinson, badass Robinson, riding up to my buddy's house, Chris's house. This was my best friend at the time, Chris Yu. I go to his house. He's not home, right? I'm like, damn, it's kind of getting late, you know? Like, he should be home, you know? Okay, whatever. I ride back home. I turn the TV on. And then the TV's like, fires. And then this earthquake happened on the news, you know what I mean? Like, in different parts of the world. Like, it's just the news throwing it. Back at the time, you know, at that, I don't know how it is now because I don't watch the news at all. But, you know, it's always been back in the day, it was always like, there's a shooting. And there's like, just always bad shit.
Oh, it's still
you know,
like
that.
Oh,
yeah, like, fucking
like
the world's ending and the fucking this and that. You know, like all this bullshit's happening, right?
Yeah.
So they're showing like a huge forest fire on one fucking area. And then another area is having fucking huge floods. And this dude had like a tsunami, like this island had a tsunami, and like some shit happened. And it was like the world's rotation has stopped.
Oh shit!
Like that's why all this shit's happening. The world like literally stopped rotating. And then I go, what the hell? I look outside my window, and now it's like 6 p.m. You know, and it should be pretty dark during the summertime. Like it's usually pretty dark, right?
Yeah.
The sun is still out, like it's sunset mode, and I'm like, what the fuck, right, dude? It's like late, you know. And I don't even in my dream, my parents are not even home either. So I'm like, what the fuck, you know? Everybody should be home. It's late, you know.
No one's out.
Nobody's out.
Okay.
So, long story short, the world stops rotating. I'm like, fuck. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm gonna go to the pond. I'm just gonna go fishing because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I go over there. I don't catch a damn thing, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I usually be like catching like dozens of shit here, you know, like little fish, you know, like sunfish, bluegills, bass, all in there, right? Dope time. Every time I go, nothing. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on, right? So I say, man, I'm just gonna go home. The sun's still out, and I'm like, dude, it's 7. Like, I'm thinking it's 7. I don't know if in my dream. I'm just kind of going through the time clock, and I look up and I see the moon. The moon's out, but the sun's out. I'm like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, the moon comes into like this is the crazy part, which is kind of wacky. See the moon, and then it starts to turn orange, and then it starts to turn red. So now it's a red moon, and then that red moon splits, and then there's 2 moons. And then it comes back together and then splits again. And there's 3 moons, and it does this 7 times. And then there's 7 moons in the air. I don't know what that meant. I still don't know what it means, but I saw it, you know? So I'm like, holy shit, that's crazy. So I start running home. Get home, and dude, like everything in the house is off. Like all the power's out. Nothing's working. And except for the TV. And the TV's just showing like, the world is gonna end. Like people are like mass hysteria, people are crying and just like fucking riots and just like chaos. And then I wake up, I'm going, what the fuck was that, right? Oh, and part of the news was like people were getting really sick too. And I wake up and I was like, whatever. I didn't even talk about it. I was just like, damn, that was kind of crazy. But I remembered it. So later on the time goes, my cousin's over and taught me. He's a year older than me. But he's a super churchgoer, so he like knows like the ins and outs of the Bible at that time, you know. So I was like, dude, man, I had this dream, and I explained that whole thing to him. And he's like, dude, you just had the dream about the apocalypse. I was like, what the hell is that? You know, like I go to church all the time, but I don't pay no attention, man. I'm like one of those kids, you know, like ADD. I don't care, you know. I'm like just at church, but Yeah, he explained that I had a dream about the whole fucking apocalypse in my dream, and I didn't even know what it was. He's like, yeah, dude, that's what happens, dude. The fucking world, you know, like all these fires and shit, people getting sick, and then, like, not the world stopped rotating, but the blood moon and all the, like, 4 horsemen and the whole thing. Like, it was like, dude, I was like, whoa, that was wild.
Dude, that's crazy that you could remember that dream so vivid from you're 12 years old.
Dude, I probably wouldn't have remembered it if it didn't have any significance. You know what I mean? But when I told him, then it stuck. And I was like, what? And then I started looking into it, like, later on in my years, because I always remembered that. So I started kind of reading, and I was like, reading the Bible, and I was like, holy shit, I had this dream, dude.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was. I didn't know any clue about that.
Yeah.
But I had it. So that was like, that's why I was like, dude, that should be pretty important to remember for a long time or the rest of my life.
Damn,
but that was kind of
wild,
weird.
Dude.
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
Do you still have crazy dreams?
Dude, I'm sure we all dream, but I don't have very many dreams, or at least I can't remember them when I wake up.
Really?
Yeah, I wake up and boom, I don't think of any dream that I've had.
Do you sleep well at night?
Well, I have like 4 or 5 hours a day. Not bad.
Do you go to sleep easy or no?
Oh, lately, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Boom.
Life's been good lately?
Yeah, life's out, dude. I come home, I take a shower, boom. Lights are out, man. I'm gone, you know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty routine for the last few years, for sure.
Yeah, I think we're on the verge of the apocalypse right now.
Dude, that coronavirus shit, it's nothing new, right? It's like the SARS, Ebola, like, not along those links, but yeah, it's kind of like it's mutated to the point where, like, SARS and the bird flu and I forgot the other ones, but I'm not really too familiar with it.
Maybe I was too young to understand the significance when those were going around. But
I think SARS was the last one.
This is already past it.
Yeah, this is like what that is similarly, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but right now shit is fucking going down. Like China's on lock. Dude.
Yeah. Well, who knows, right? We only see what we see, right? But yeah, I guess you could say like the whistleblower. Because I went down that rabbit hole the other day, like in YouTube. I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? What really is going on? You know? And if I didn't listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, I would probably not even know. Because he's like my news outlet now.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
Listen to him like, oh shit, that's relevant. That's like today. That's like right now. What the fuck? Okay, so I look, and then you go on YouTube and you watch for all the stories, and a lot of them are just like fear mongers, though, you know, like they just do it for the views or like do it for whatever reason they have, just for political gain or likes or views or whatever it might be, you know.
Yeah, that's
with no fact checking.
That's usually how it goes. I have a feeling on this one that it's a lot different, man.
Sure.
Stuff is getting really ugly.
That shit was wild because when I heard about that, I was flying. I went to, God, when was this? It was a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
When it like first emerged. I did a crazy like 18-hour stint. I went from here to Washington. I flew to Washington, went snowboarding.
Oh, cool.
With my buddy Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went real quick, just like flew out to LA, went straight there, and then just did a boarding trip same day, and then drove back, went straight to the airport, flew back.
Nice.
Home. It was rad.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, big shout out to Greg for doing that. That was dope.
What's his last name?
Fierro.
Yeah. Shout out to him, man. He's a cool dude.
His Instagram name is The Nose That Knows.
Yeah. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hell yeah.
The story that I was getting at is when I flew back home, I was sitting there was a Chinese family of 3 sitting 2 rows behind me on the opposing side of the plane. And he walked in with a mask and all that. I didn't even hear of anything about SARS, right? But this guy was like sick, coughing his brains out, bro.
Shut the fuck.
But he had a mask on, he had gloves on, right? And he was sitting there. His daughter or son was sleeping. They were basically on the wall against the bathroom.
Got you. Okay.
And I was more like behind the wing, you know?
Got you.
So I was a few seats up, you know, like few rows, 5 or 6 rows up.
Yeah.
But I saw him because I walked back, and then I kept hearing him cough, and I turned around, I was like, and I'm like a germ, like in that case, I'm like, I always cover my mouth, like I'm that guy, you know.
Yeah.
So every time I'm fucking looking back, you know, like fucking this motherfucker, you know, like you try to get me sick, dog. I gotta work in the morning, you know, like.
Yeah.
So I didn't think anything of it, but then when I landed, I saw that shit on Facebook. Was like the first case in America was Seattle, and I was there.
Shut the fuck up!
But I swear, look at it, dude. It's,
shit!
Look at the history of that news. I was there that day. I forgot what day, but I'm sure I'm sure if I go back through my photos when I was there snowboarding, because I took photos, it would be that day. And that day is that's the day that the fucking news said that there was the first outbreak in the United States in Seattle. And that fucking Chinese dude was sitting back fucking 6 rows dying. Like, I was like, hell no, bro. Like, somebody's got to call the CDC on this fucking flight and find this motherfucker, dude. Because he's flying to LA, dog. Like, he's probably in San Gabriel, like, fucking everybody up right now. So...
Hey, that shit chills for 15 days before you start seeing symptoms.
Yeah, so I called Greg and I told him, I said, motherfucker, you need to look into this, right?
Yeah.
So he sends me a link and he looks into it and he's like, nobody that's like came from Seattle to LA, like boarded, that was like within that vicinity in China or whatever. Like, it didn't, you know what I mean? There was no connecting areas.
That shit's been going down since early December. They're hiding everything, all the news about it.
Yeah,
they're downplaying the numbers. Shit is fucking wild. Right now.
I'm like,
you got it.
I'm like,
let's
dude,
just be honest. You got it.
Yeah. If I got it, man, I'm in pretty good shape. You know, like fucking my immune system is good, man. So that shit was kind of scary, you know. Like,
you know what's crazy is,
what if he did, you know? But it's like, still, it's like, fuck, you know. Like,
I just got back from Japan.
Yeah,
well, I mean, like, you know, like the 15th.
Was that Tokyo
Auto Salon 14, something like that. Yeah. You know, so by that time, it was already cooking, bro.
Dude, there's like some kind of ship in
Yokohama. Yeah. It's
some like Australian people. I saw that was like when I first started going down that rabbit hole on YouTube, was that ship that was like kind of being like contained and like blocked off.
And there's like 400 plus people on there that had the coronavirus.
Imagine if you're on there, you're like, fuck this shit, get me away from these fucking people. I'm not sick, you know, like fuck that.
They're on lockdown, dude.
I know, that's crazy.
Especially if you're in like the middle cabins and you have a window. Bro, you're in jail. It's literal jail. And you're just like, in jail, you don't think that, I mean, maybe, you think that you're going to die. But on that boat, you're like, I can really just die.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. You know?
Nobody wanted that. I heard that the boat actually did finally start letting people off.
Yeah.
It was... I forget.
Somebody got to bring some Lysol with.
This shit's serious, bro.
I know, man. It's nothing to fucking really laugh about. What you think about? It's fucking fucked up, man. Like, what would you do in that similar situation where you know you're not sick, right? But then you're in the vicinity of somebody that is. Of course you're gonna fucking want to get the fuck out, but you can't.
Yeah.
And now it's like when you want to jump ship or do whatever because you know, like, you're not sick. But they treat you like it, and then you're more prone because you're more susceptible into that area because you're closer in proximity. You know, you want to be as far as possible. Like, fuck, man. So that's why I was like, fuck it, man. Bring a bottle of Lysol and just be like every day, like, washing the rooms, cracks in the doors. You know, just
tape this bitch up.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. That, you know, like we said, the news moves so fast, so this stuff doesn't register. Guys, this really should register right now. Yeah, I was talking about this on live last night. Like, when you get paid, if you have an extra $50, just go buy some cans of tuna, you know, some soup, some water, something, bro.
Yeah, the fucking, what's those shows called?
The Prepper?
Yeah,
Doomsday Prepper?
Doomsday Preppers,
dude,
man.
This shit's nuts, bro. There's not even a cure for it. It's just going crazy.
Honestly, I think there could be. You know why? Because of that CRISPR shit, bro.
CRISPR?
Dog. Didn't we talk about that?
Mm-mm.
We didn't talk about CRISPR.
So.
We didn't talk about gene editing. No?
Mm-mm.
I don't think you could do that with viral infections.
Uh-huh.
Right? do it to immunity of viral infections, but you can do it for certain things, right? So there's this thing called CRISPR, which is like an abbreviation of whatever analogy that it comes out with. It's just, I think it's CYSPR.
Gotcha.
And then it's abbreviated to whatever it's called. So it's on Netflix, and that shit is wild. That shit is so dope. And that's when we're living in the future.
It's a show on Netflix or what?
Yeah, it's called Unnatural Selection.
Okay, got
right?
you.
You gotta watch it. It's the fucking wildest shit. Opens your mind to everything. And once you watch it, they give you recommendations. Just go down the recommendations and watch the rest because it's wild. So it's a show about gene editing.
Okay.
And how simplified it could be. Right? And Big Pharma doesn't want you to do this because it's how they make their money.
Yeah.
Right. So there's this show about a couple of these people that are so-called biohackers. Right. They're taking genes from your DNA, anybody's DNA, and they go into this thing where it basically codes out your DNA, trillions of code. Right. Basically, we couldn't do this before because we didn't have enough computer power to do it, but now we do, right? We have supercomputers. Fucking our phones are supercomputers, basically, right? So now they can digitally print out a code like your DNA, exactly down to the T of every fucking code, and then they somehow correlate it with other people's code, right? And then they verify what you have or what you might not have, because everybody has cancer in their bodies. Everybody has these certain things that are encoded in our DNA that we'll have bad eyes, we'll have high blood pressure, we'll have liver failure, kidney disease, heart attacks, whatever it might be. I don't know, I'm not a fucking medical expert, but it goes down the list, right? And certain diseases like autism to like rare diseases. It's like I forgot what it was on the show. Basically, this dude, this kid had, he was losing his eyesight. So basically, when he was a little kid, like he had great eyesight, and then it started to slowly deteriorate. It's a disease. So he's wearing like these huge, heavy glasses, and he's about to be blind. Like all he could see is blurs now, And this show represents these. You're right there, bro.
I'm choking, dude.
I think you got the fucking coronavirus too,
I do, bro. That's why I said you got it,
the
bro.
Mexican version.
Congratulations. I got the Modelo. I got the Modelo virus.
Wrong
pipe. Dude.
Yeah, that's what she said. This show was basically showing them like they can fix this shit, right? So this lady out in I think UCLA or like Berkeley found this beneficial bacteria that helps grow your genes. So basically they'll get this code and they'll figure out a code and say, like, let's just say, oh, this person has this code from his mom and this DNA code from his dad, and then when they get together and they have this baby has a code that's missing, like it's the wrong code, so that he'll have bad eyes, something along those lines. I'm just dumbing it down, like on this fucking podcast.
Got you.
Anyway, so now they found that code for this kid, and now they can develop a fucking gene that can be transferred into his DNA.
No
to
way.
Fix that code so he has 20/20 vision.
Did it work, or they're still developing?
Absolutely.
No way.
They fucking made it into an eye drop and dropped 2 fucking drops. Like, obviously there's a procedure. It's not like one.
Yeah.
One, I guess. He doesn't have to do it just once. He has to do it multiple times.
It's not like a magic pill.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got you.
So over the course of time, he got his 20/20 back. It was literally 20/20. It wasn't like 21/18. It was like he had fucking perfect eyes.
Wow.
Okay. So in this show, there's these dudes that are called biohackers, and this one dude was able to figure out how to genetically change frog DNA, right? And he was testing it on frogs, right? He was you can buy the kit online, right? It's like $150, and you could do your own experiment. Okay, you fucking get 2 frogs, right? Both equally in size and weight, and you give one this gene, which is a hormone growth for just natural bigger muscle growth, and he gives it to this frog, and within like a certain amount of weeks, that frog is like 2 ounces heavier. Nothing has changed. Nothing. The diet hasn't changed. The water content, everything that they're eating hasn't changed. They both get equal amounts. That frog is just bigger.
What if it's just like a little shot of steroids?
It's kind of like that, but it's changing down to the molecular level.
Yeah.
The gene level.
No way, dude. Oh
now,
God.
It's like we're playing God, right? Mm-hmm. So now that frog could be like the Hulk if it wants to be. You know what I mean? And this dude, that biohacker that did that, they were like, oh, well, you know, how safe is it? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, dude, you want me to do it? I'll do it right now. He fucking took that same shit and put it in his arm in the like meeting with all these other people. Like he was basically like showcasing like this is how harmless. He puts it in, and at the end of the show, the fucking dude's bigger. It's like a 3-episode dude. This fool is like he's getting both. He's like a scrawny little fucker, and now he's like bigger, dude. He's like, hey dog, you've been working out. What the fuck, you know?
That's called steroids, bro.
Nah, dude. Okay, so let me get into it. All right, that's just one story. And there's other dude is like a dog breeder. Okay, he's breeding dogs, and he's literally showing other people on YouTube that has a YouTube that's gene editing rats, and they took jellyfish DNA and put it in a rat sequence and made a rat, right? Like made a rat baby.
Yeah.
And that rat now glows in the dark red. It's just a normal rat.
I gotta watch this
You
show.
turn the lights off, the fucking rat is glowing in the dark.
No way.
Swear to God.
What's it called?
Unnatural selection.
Okay, I'm watching this.
So now this motherfucker was out in the backyard jerking his dog off, getting dog sperm, and putting jellyfish DNA into the sperm and now impregnating another dog. So hopefully this dog comes out and it's going to be a glow-in-the-dark dog. A fucking dog. A fucking pit bull. A pit bull you have at home is going to be now fucking glow-in-the-dark. I swear to fucking God. I was like, dude, this is unreal. It's impossible. It's not. It's no longer impossible, bro. He's playing God.
Oh my God.
So now there's this other guy that's just an advocate or like a lobbyist for CRISPR, right? Or like for like gene editing, right? He said that there's no, it's so great because there's no way of actually like controlling this anymore because it's out in the open. So Big Pharma wants to like put a stop to it, like with all these biohackers, but they can't because it's so fucking easy now, right? So it's like anybody can do it. These dudes are doing this shit in their fucking garage smaller than this room. I swear to God. With like little beakers and shit. I don't know what the fuck. Out in the open. Doesn't matter. The fucking barn shed. And they're fucking making glow-in-the-dark babies, bro. This shit is fucking wild, dog. It's a wild time to be alive. Hey, listen. Okay, so check this out. So this other dude, right? This fucking other dude, is like a lobbyist or whatever, and he's saying like they were talking about Lyme disease.
Okay.
Like how we can't get rid of Lyme disease, but we know that Lyme disease comes from ticks.
Yeah.
Right? So these ticks and how these ticks transfer to humans is from rats. Mm-hmm. They bite the rats and they're on the rats, and the rats come in the house and they take a shit, and then Lyme disease inside the house, and somewhere it gets...
It was like airborne or something or what?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying like that's how it's transferred. It's transferred rats to humans.
Gotcha.
It's not from ticks to humans.
Oh, it's not.
In certain occasions it might be, but it's mainly from rats.
Okay.
Right? So now what they're doing is they're genetically changing the rat's DNA to be autoimmune to Lyme disease from ticks.
Yeah.
So once they change this DNA, now it's forever instilled in those rats. Now, so the next offspring those rats have will be immune.
Gotcha.
And those rats that have babies will be immune.
So over time,
it's going to eradicate it, which is great, right? So now no more Lyme disease. So what they did was they took 20 or 50 rats and they changed their DNA, whatever, and they just let them loose. So all those rats are fucking. And those rats will have offspring with the rats that have Lyme disease, and then it'll exit out. So it's no longer available in their bodies, and they can now no longer transfer it to humans. So that disease is pretty much going to get wiped out.
Well, let me ask you this. You're in the barn right now. They say, Jason, we got your entire DNA.
Yeah.
We got every single folder
Oh,
here.
yeah.
What are we changing first?
Oh, dude.
Do you want to glow?
Dude, I want to
breathe underwater.
I want to get rid of my cholesterol problem first of all, so then I can eat
Cholesterol.
like a motherfucker,
Okay,
bro.
cholesterol.
Like a motherfucking cow. Okay,
So-
I want to graze like a cow all day on like chips and fucking French fries and pizza and not have a fucking problem.
So
It's all
metabolism,
going out.
just crank it up a little bit.
Absolutely,
Okay.
that'd be great.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're making a big joke about that. It was like it was like that dude with the muscle growth, dude.
Yeah.
Right? If he does one that will enlarge your dick,
Yeah.
he's gonna be a trillionaire. He's gonna be wealthier than fucking Warren Bates and fucking all those dudes that have trillions of dollars. Like, I think he'll surpass fucking Bezos, right? Whatever that Amazon owner is, dude. Yeah, overnight. Like people are gonna be like, how much can I take until like I don't have a stroke, right? Like, or like fucking have a heart attack. Like I want like people walking around with tree trunks and shit. You know?
Shit.
It's gonna happen, dog.
Out
it's
the cargos, bro.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, man. Like, people don't even have to go and work out. They'll be like, dude, I want to be like Hulk.
Yeah.
They're like, because people have that DNA, dude. Like a couple of my homies, they're just naturally fucking yoked out. Like, they don't do shit but eat chips and pizza, and they're just like bench pressing 550. Like, they're just big dudes, you know? Like, fucking just fit and like crazy UFC fucking killers, you know? And that's just the way their DNA is, you know what I mean? But that's how they do it. They get that code and they're like, oh, look, this is why you can't be this way. We can change all this, and then you can be that way.
Really?
And over time, it changes your body. And it's fucking wild, bro. Like, if you have a hearing fucking problem, you can fix it. You have an eye problem, you can grow another one. Like,
you realize all of this just sounds too
crazy.
good to be true.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I was like, this is full of shit. And it's like, once you start watching, you're like, holy cow, it's fucking real.
I want to glow in the dark.
It's real out there, bro.
I think that would be sick.
And now they're like taking like, okay, so now they're trying to figure out a way to regrow human parts. Okay? Like, naturally. Like, say, like, for us, we cut a finger off.
Yeah.
It's not going to grow back.
Yeah.
But a salamander will cut his arm off, and it will grow back exactly the same way.
So you get
so
salamander nut.
Now they're taking
drink it or what?
Yeah, now they're taking salamander DNA and they're trying to figure out how to incorporate it in humans.
Whoa.
So when we get fucking hurt or busted and we lose an arm, that motherfucker gonna grow back.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I would like to have 2 dicks. I think that would be pretty dope.
Bro. Dude, the sky's the limit, bro. You can do whatever your heart sets out to now, man. It's there. It's real, bro. So this other guy in that show was like completely a normal baby.
Yeah.
And then he had this rare disease where his body never grew, but his mind and everything else grew. So like his muscle growth in his body it won't grow. So he basically was just like
dead. How small is he?
He's an old ass dude now. Like, he's in his 20s or something. But he's bedridden. He can't move his neck. He can't move anything. The only thing he can do is move his eyes and talk. And he can move a little bit of his thumb. That's it.
Yeah.
So he just sits there all day and just watches computer and just does this and like moves around and just like watches videos and shit. And they're doing it to him. So he's actually getting better. It's fucking amazing, dude.
What?
This dude that's bedridden for the good portion of his whole life is probably gonna have a potential to go out and walk and do all the fucking normal shit that he's gonna be doing now.
So out of everything, you would just fix your cholesterol just so you could eat as much as you want.
Well, obviously there's much more things too, like brain power. Like, I want to be smart as shit. I want to be a fucking Elon Musk. I want to be like doing all shit. And that's why I was kind of going, dude, man, maybe Elon did that shit.
Yeah,
that's why he's so
probably
fucking smart. You know, like, dude, that guy's smart, dude. Like, you think about it, you're just like, whoa, you know, that guy's thinking of some wild shit and it's working. You know,
I would just like to grow a full beard. That That can't be that much, bro.
Yeah.
If it's like $150 to glow in the dark,
man, that's like
$20
in and out, dog. You good?
Give me a beard, bro. I'm straight.
You know, 3 or 4 sessions, you'd be all right, man. You should be down on the floor, no problem.
I'm used to this tiny Mexican body I've got, bro. I'm good. I just want a beard, and
dude.
That's it.
It's real, dude. I'm telling you, man. It's crazy. It will fucking open your eyes to all kinds of shit. So now it's like they have a cure. They pretty much have a cure for AIDS. They have a cure for all those crazy diseases, cancer, all that stuff, because it's all encoded in your DNA. So now they can track it, find it, and change it.
What about herpes? Because this shit gets annoying, dude, bro.
It's probably, you know, like that's your own personal problem. But hey, man, they can probably fix it, dog. You know,
good, hell yeah.
But the problem is the big pharma guys want to charge like crazy. So the kid with the eye thing or the muscle thing, they're like trying to charge them $800,000.
Yeah, that's $800,000 right there.
And they got it done, but they got it through funding, through GoFundMe or whatever it might be. I don't know what it was. Yeah. I didn't really.
I gotta watch this, dude.
Dope. And then once all the other ones come out, like the recommendations, and you watch that shit, then it really kind of go. Like,
all right, well, let
CRISPR.
me be the devil's advocate. So if this is so like so forward thinking, so new, so why would it be on Netflix? Don't you think that this is like information that shouldn't be shared?
Listen, man, you can't suppress knowledge, dude. It eventually gets out there.
Yeah,
it does. This day and age, dude, you're exposed. Everybody's exposed. You can't hide no more. Yeah. It's the fucking internet. So like all these shams and all these like fucking like get quick money schemes. That shit is finished, bro.
Yeah,
you can't do that shit. You gotta be just straight up honest, and you gotta just fucking take it to the chin, you know, and fucking just go out there and do your thing and do it right. You know? That's it. There's no more half-assing shit anymore, you know? Like, it's just the internet will expose you immediately.
Yeah.
You know, so that's crazy times, man.
It is.
It's fucking dope, though. Like, it really kind of opened my eyes to, like, man, my kids will be all right, you know? Yeah. Like, that's the first thing that come to my mind was when I saw that shit. I was like, dude, like my kids will never get cancer. My kids will never have high blood pressure. My next generation of my offspring from my kids when I'm a grandfather will be all right. You know?
Yeah, I think like that, and I really hope so. And I'm preparing my son for the future, and I tell him like, look, dog, the world that I'm living in right now is fucking insane. When I was your age, I could not even think about it. Yeah. So the things that are gonna happen in your lifetime, I can't even imagine it. Yeah. So you need to be prepared. Right, I'm preparing them for doomsday already, dude.
I don't want to instill that kind of fear-mongering shit, my son.
They have to be prepared, bro. Yeah. Think about it when you were 12.
There's a thing for preparation, and there's a thing for fucking fear.
You're in 12 years old. You're going to the pond by yourself, like fucking Andy Griffith. You know, fishing by yourself. You can't do that shit these days, dude. And you would have never thought that. Yeah. You would have never thought that. Shit's wild.
It's unfortunate though, man. I really wanted to instill like the purity of being a kid back then to now. Like, it's so different now.
You think there's still neighborhoods out there like that?
Dude, I hope so.
Guys, if you live in a neighborhood that's like Pleasantville or something, let us know.
That'd be rad.
Because I'm down to go there, and it's probably the property's gonna be cheap. You know, I could drop like 150 on a mansion over there or some shit. Just
dude, but that's the way most part of the world is. I think we're so confined to LA and Cali. Like, we just are so immune to how it really supposed to be.
I never been to Iowa. Maybe in Iowa.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude, you know, I think anything past Arizona is like that. That's just how I am.
And those are the flyover states.
Yeah.
I've never been through there, dude.
All like that, man. All those people are nice people, dude. It's scary almost. It's like we're always have a chip on our shoulders, like our shoulders when we come from Cali or New York or the tri-state area. Everybody's like standoffish and like,
what do you want?
Fuck do you want, man? Like, you have bad intentions all the time, you know? Like, everybody's out there to rob you, you know? And it's like crazy because like I always tell this story. One time when I go to North Carolina, when I was hanging out with Wes over at West Pry, we stayed out there. It was like me, Chris Miller, you know, Chris Cook and like the whole crew, you know, we went out there and we are just on our way to World Cup, and we stopped in North Carolina for a little bit. And the people, man, Southern hospitality is crazy out there.
Hell yeah.
It's so nice. It's a life-changing experience. And I always tell everybody this is like, Cali fucking sucks ass because of that. Like, you go there, and it was one story in particular was, it was wild because I couldn't even believe it. I think we got to an hotel. I think it was a Holiday Inn or something. Whatever. We had bags. Open up the trunk in the rental car, grab the bags out. And this dude like just walked up and was grabbing the bags for us, and was like, I didn't really pay attention because I was like getting something out of the car, but he was like helping us with our bags. And I just thought 2 and 2, Cali, spoiled pieces of shit. We have a bellhop, comes out, get our shit. This dude grabbed our bags, walked it in, and literally was like, all right guys, thank you. And I was like, thank you so much. And then I was like, he just walked out and left. I was like, wasn't even dressed in a uniform or nothing. And I was like, I asked the lady at the desk when we were checking in. I was like, who is that? She's like, I don't know. I was like, he didn't work here? Like, no.
No way.
Regular dude. Just helped me with my bags.
Wow.
That's unbelievable, dude.
That's nice,
That's
man.
Unbelievable. That felt so good. Like, genuinely, that just felt really heartwarming. Like, I was like, I wish I knew who that guy was, but I want to tell him thank you. You know, I couldn't get the chance to, like, I said thank you, but I couldn't get the chance to really, like, hey man, you didn't really have to do that. I thought it was his job.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me to think that, it was like, I felt terrible. I was like,
that's how I feel when I go to when I go to Waffle House and they call me like sweetie.
Yeah, man.
I just love it, dude.
That's why I go there, like, dude.
They're cooking in the kitchen right there. Dude, that's somebody's mom, somebody's grandma.
Yeah, this last World Cup trip, man, we went to Waffle House, I think, like 2 or 3 times. And
that's a joint, bro.
Yeah, it's cool, man. The pecan waffle and just the grit. The grits are fucking crazy there, dude.
I love the grits.
Yeah.
Let's get into World Cup, man. So we haven't talked since October. Before we talked, you were getting ready for World Cup, which was maybe a month or less than that. So you were like stressing out, dude. So let's go ahead and paint the picture. I don't even want to talk about
that, right? That's like, dude, you just bring that negative energy into this fucking thing. We were just having fun, man. Dude, I'm like a roller coaster of emotion now, you know? Fuck, man. World Cup, dude, I just want that shit to go away.
All right, you want to come back to it?
Nah, man. We got to talk. We got to face our fears, right? Shit, dude.
So it was that bad.
Yeah, it was terrible, dude. Like, as much as you think you're prepared as a race team, there's always Murphy's Law that just comes by and goes, hey! What's going on, guys? Hey, it looks like you guys are doing good. Well, hey, guys, check this out. Yeah, fucking throw this in the wrench and fucking throw this in the motor, and just like it just spiraled out of control at the last second. Oh, yeah. So leading up to then, right, we went testing prior, and car went a 33, 186. Okay, pretty reasonable. It's good for what we have out here. So everything looks good. We go ahead and we start to we talk with Magnus at that race. We talk to Magnus and Magnus Motorsports, which is a company out in Canada. Marco.
Those are the ones that make the intake manifolds, right?
Intake manifolds, fuel pumps, GTR stuff, high-end shit, high quality stuff. Gotcha. Like Marco's borderline crazy genius. Like, he's one of those guys, right? So we met a gentleman, George, which is like old school. Like, he was doing the CSS stuff in Canada. Like, he throws events out there, and he lives now in Cali. So he was in Fresno. So it's not like, it's a short track from there to Bakersfield. And he came by because he knew Ed, and then that's how that relationship started. And then he is the marketing guy for Magnus.
And Ed Bergen Holt's the one that's the driver of your car.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Ed Bergen Holt is like if nobody knows who Ed is, and people that are listening don't know who he is he's basically the granddaddy of the import front-wheel drive drag racing. Yeah, he's the guy that started with Steph and Lisa Kubo and
Bergen Holt's brothers, Ed and Ron,
all those guys. And even though those guys started a little bit earlier than him, or within the same era, right, the 90s, early 90s. So anyway, inventor of the wheelie bar. And that's now utilized in any pro car front-wheel drive platform. So they did a lot of innovative things back then, So he's now a driver for us, good friend of ours. It's like family, you know what I mean? So glad and very thankful to have him. It's really fun to interact with him and like able to bring back some history into the sport back again, because it's so fast paced now.
Yeah.
It's so forgetful. Like people are just like wind it up like a toy, and it's just like it's like moving so fast. You know what I mean? And then like it gets burned out from time to time because we don't rewind it back up. You know what I mean? It's constant memories of bringing that back up, and it's nice to have Ed be there so that when we go through these things, he tells us stories on the way, like, dude, I'm reliving everything, you know. It's
nice.
Like it's cool, you know. It's cool to experience that. So
you're at Bakersfield with Ed.
Yeah, Bakersfield. We test, and we have the same issue where the car goes really fast, and then the next pass we go and try to make improvements. We go out there, and the fucking car doesn't go into gear, and we're like, what the fuck, you know? Like, okay, so we'll just fix this, you know. And it's a new gear set. And we're making these custom gear sets through Cal West, which is Anthony, which he works over at RS Machine, aka Power Transmission. And we're testing these new gear sets that we're making for the front wheel drive platform. It's been around for a while, but we're making improvements, you know. So there's no longer any cracking in the pinions, and it's just like it's the best in the market right now. And nobody knows about it yet, but they will. Okay. Mm-hmm. We were just testing it for a few years before we can actually release it. And now this shit is like, I would be hard pressed to say that anything out there that would even be comparable, you know.
Really?
The PPG, the Albins, they're all great units, but this thing is going to outlast those things tenfold.
So who's going to be offering this? You?
No, it's going to be Anthony. So they could come through me to get it too. So it's a little bit easier, because, you know, I'm a little bit more accessible online. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a thing. But we're also moving into all-wheel drive platforms.
Yeah.
And that's going to be done very soon, too. So we're going to alleviate a lot of those problems.
And what was that company again?
Cal West.
Cal West.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So California West. So it's his business name. I don't know if it's going to change when this thing blows up, but it will, because we've been working on it for really hard. But anyway, the story of World Cup, man, what a fucking mission, bro. Like,
so you were having the problems with the transmission at Bakersfield. Did you figure it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't the transmission.
So the guy that came from Canada that lives in Fresno, he was the one that
it was just that story led into basically we were there, he came, we met, and then we had a partnership with Magnus, and then we started to change over to the mechanical fuel pump because it was available.
Got you. Okay, so, cool.
And the reason why we changed is because the new turbo development that Precision is putting out, the next gen turbo, requires more fuel.
Got you.
And we were right at the cusp of where we're at with electronic fuel pump and like the Weldons and stuff like that. Yeah, so not necessarily maxed out, but we were there.
Got
you know what I mean? So if we wanted to make any more boost or more power output, we would have to change some configurations up. So, and that was what it is. So it's just almost like coming around full circle with the hot rod days, with the cars that are just back in the day, and like big tires, and like, you know, the Gary Gardella places and the Ed Bergen Holtz and all those other guys do, you know, just heavy fuel, you know what I mean? Like it just needs big ignition, dude, all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
We're just there now.
Got you. Okay.
So history is slowly repeating itself right now. Like we're basically stuck in where we were back in the 90s, like back in the early 2000s. And now we're transitioning into pro cars.
Got you.
Okay. But hence, come back to that story. So we go and test, and we have these little issues. We don't think it's big issues, but they turn into really big issues. Okay. So during this whole course of time, we were figuring out like what the fuck is going on with the car. Why is it getting locked out in the transmission? And it was a culmination of things, but we end up figuring it out that it was the starter of all things, a fucking $100, $75 starter, which failed internally. So the starter would work great, but the insulation in the starter internally was broken. So what would happen was would start the car, everything would be fine under low resonance, idling, stuff like that. But once we put RPM into it, the vibration that the engine made would open up that insulation and zap the car. Like literally putting a battery cable wire, positive cable wire, and just fucking striking our fucking car, just blah blah, thousands of times.
I remember you posted a picture of the cam.
Yeah, that was just the cam.
Oh my god!
It was the whole fucking car had that shit. Spot welds all over the motherfucker. Shit you not. People think I'm fucking lying, dude. It was the cam gear. It was as strong as to zap and demagnetize the magnets in the cam sensor.
Yeah.
And all the sensors in the car got wiped out, like slowly, like just getting electrocuted to death.
So you didn't notice, or Ed didn't notice anything while he's racing? No, like flickering or nothing cutting out?
Like that, because the setup that we have won't allow it to do that.
Got you.
Okay. So as crazy, as smart as the car is, that was almost our downfall, I feel. You know, like since we have a PDM in the car, Motec PDM, which is like an onboard internal, like a smart relay.
Yeah.
So it would keep stuff on if stuff got out of awry. So we never really caught it because I never really looked into the PDM. Nobody would have thought a fucking starter would kill our fucking car.
That's wild.
We just don't think, because we're looking at it and we're like, dude, what would cause this micro welding in the gear? You know, like we didn't know it was micro welding. We thought it was just a clearance issue, you know, because everything was tight because it's a new gear set. If we were at the old gear set, I think we would immediately caught it because we're like, oh, we know it's proven, everything works, but now it's not. So we know to us, it looked like welding. It looked like somebody took a welder and fucking welded our gear set together. And we're like, dude. So under further inspection, we found out there was little tiny spot welds everywhere. And they're like, dude, it's got to be the starter. Because that's the only thing that powers the engine.
Yeah.
So we took it apart and we're like, it's fine. You know, it's like we took it off and look at it and it's fine. And then under further inspection, you see the mounting of the starters just shot like welds all over the casing, from the billet housing to the motor, spot welds all over that, the camshafts, fucking gear sets, the shift change holder, the shift rod. Like, it was going through everything.
What the fuck?
The fucking engine mounts, the mounts that you actually put the bolt through, you look at it, it's all mangled with little tiny welds. It would look like you would be compressing pieces of sand, like, and bolting your car in, so it looks like there's just particles in there that get crushed. It's not that. It's actually physically getting electrocuted.
Wow.
And burning that out. Yeah.
Now, what was the symptom of it again? Just you weren't able to go into gear.
We wouldn't be able to go into gear, but then there was misfires, but we couldn't see it or hear it. It was so fast. Like, it would run through the RPM, right, the motor, and going through the gears fine, but we would barely see these little chops in the RPM graph, and it looked normal, but it's not.
Got you. Okay.
You know, so that led into valve train problems, where once the car starts when you misfire at fucking, 10,000, 11,000 RPM, shit goes fucking bad real fast in the valve train. You know what I mean? So we kept bending valves. And we're like, what the fuck is wrong with this car? Like, this car went from being a consistent 820 car to trash, like dying. It was dying throughout the whole pass. And the way I figured it out was somebody in the stands was recording our fucking pass and sent it to us. And then I heard the car, because we all stand at the starting line. We can't hear it down there. But once we started to hear it down there, it was like popping and banging. We're like, dude, oh, that's traction control. It's like, no, it's not. I don't fucking have traction control down. I have traction control in the first 60 feet and it's off. So I'm like, it's not that. What the fuck is that? So we end up further inspecting it and found out that was the cause. So like, that little problem culminated into the whole fucking car having a problem, right? So basically our 2019 fucking season was completely washed out because of that. And when we went to World Cup, it was stem from all that. And we were chasing, like I was chasing all fucking weekend long. Like, the moment we got there to fucking first round of qualifying, the car didn't even do a burnout, bro. Because it was getting zapped in the burnout. And I was like, I heard it and I was like, what the fuck is that? It's like, it sounds like it's misfiring, like it's bad, like it'll get up on the two-step and then it'll be like, and then it wouldn't go into overrun boost. And then all of a sudden it'll go into overrun boost and then it will go off. So I was like, there's something wrong with this shit. So we started looking into it further and we're like, dude, man, that's what it was, So we changed it. We changed the starter, we changed all the sensors and everything. But now we had a clean slate. We have a car that's not even tuned. Like, we had to change everything. So
and this is at World Cup?
Yeah. So Thursday, fuck up the cylinder head, put another cylinder head on, try it again, and now we figure it out. So now we're tuning from zero. So we're starting to slowly chip away at it because the O2 sensor got fucking wiped out too. So we have to fucking fix everything. You know, we put a new O2, air calibrate, the whole routine shit that you're supposed to do, but it just wasn't close, right? So I think it was Friday night, Saturday night. I don't fucking even remember, dude. I think it was fucking Friday night. And we went to the dyno like 4 in the morning.
Where at?
Mike over at, I think it was, sorry, man, I'm drawing a blank, Mike, but it's basically Mike from back in the day. I think it's Fusion Motorworks or something like that.
And it's in
Baltimore. It was far.
Gotcha.
We had to drive. So he did us a huge favor. We went out there, Kinetic. Sorry, it wasn't Fusion. It was Kinetic.
Kinetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So went out there, put it on the dyno, fixed it. But you know, we can't put it on kill on the dyno. We just had a certain situation where we're trying to get it close and then do the rest at the track.
Okay.
And fortunately for me, like I'm good friends with Abe, and Abe was like, dude, help me out a lot.
And that's rated R.
Yeah,
Abe, the tuner.
Yeah, he has so much available tuning, experience that he could just see something and know like it's there or not, you know. So he gave me assistance in that and set the car up a little differently so that we know that it would leave. And then the next fucking morning, I think it was we were going out against Ostrom first round, because that night we came back. The next following day, Saturday, was our last qualifier to get in. We didn't get in. We were struggling the whole weekend. Saturday was Hail Mary. And we got in, I think, with an 8:59, that one pass. Like, we just threw it in, and it was popping and banging. It wasn't it was fucking hurt. Like, it legged through there, like, at 59 and 175. Like, but that was the data pass that we needed, you know? Then we fixed everything, ready for Sunday. But we had Q1 against the fucking fastest fucking car that reset the fucking track record and reset the class record, which was the Speed Factory all-wheel drive car. And we're like, everybody was kind of bitching about it. And I was like, why are we there's nothing to bitch about. You know what I mean? This is the cars we're dealt, and this fucking car's fast, so let's give at it. You know what I mean?
You mean everybody, your guys on your team?
No, the whole class was just.
They just like, oh, it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. Gotcha. This car's all-wheel drive, this and that. I was like, dude, what the fuck you guys did? This is drag racing. Nothing's fucking fair. You know what I mean? This is whoever has the bigger pockets. Yeah. So let's just see what we have with what we got. You know. So we were in high expectation, high hopes, because Ed is a great driver. So we went out there, and Ed tried to cut a light on him, and he went 5 thousandths too fast. You know, we went 5 thousandths red on the dude. But if we didn't, we would have probably won, you know? But that's just the name of the game. You know what I mean? But what we out there, that pass wasn't stellar either, man. It was good to the 8th. It was halfway decent to I don't even know what it went. I think it went like a 560 or something. It wasn't bad, but we cut a fucking nasty light on Ostrom. He was like fucking sleeping with the fucking bottle on the fucking pillow. He was like a 300 light or something. I don't remember. I can't really say, but he was sleeping bad.
Gotcha.
You know, 300s is big. You know what I mean? So we went 5,000 too fucking fast, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah.
So that was Sunday?
2020. That was Sunday,
okay.
And we got put on the trailer first round. But in overall, it was a success because we figured out what it was. Yeah. And immediately right after that, we kind of regrouped, fixed our fucking motors from RS Machine. They did a great job. Even after all that bullshit that went down, every single block looked great. You know, we just had some ring sealing issues. We still kind of are developing that right now and working on that right now. So hopefully that gets fixed before Vegas, because this last race in Bakersfield, that's what our problems were. In Vegas too. So we went rounds in Vegas right as soon as we got home and fixed that electric problem. Car is just it's basically starting back on 2019 January. Like, we lost a year, basically, right? Because the whole year we were chasing this problem. We didn't know what it was, you know, and we're like literally at a wall stuck, you know. So we fixed that issue. And then now we developed a lot more data in this last race that we went to. We went to the semis just on Sunday, which was great. It was basically point A, point B. Car was consistent. Came out the hole right at tune-up, you know, 835, 184. on a run, you know, like that was our first pass, you know what I mean? So we were slowly chipping away at it. Again, Abe helps us out tremendously on like insight and knowledge. Man, that guy's fucking super smart, dude. Like,
so even he helps you like remote tune when you're over here?
Not remote tune, just advice, you know.
Gotcha.
I don't want to bother him because he has a lot of shit on his plate.
Yeah.
And I'm not the guy to be like, hey, you know, help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not that guy, you know. Like I've always been, you could call it ego, whatever. I just want to try to do it myself, you know. I want to be the guy, and it is my downfall, unfortunately, and I can admit that. But I'm just the guy that wants to do it all, you know, like be a perfectionist in every aspect, whether it be, you know, paint, body work, suspension, you know, welding, just any craft that I try to choose to do. I want to do it, and I want to know how to do it, and I want to be the best at it. And, you know, whether it be assemblies, motor assemblies, you know, anything, just looking at, just gaining valuable knowledge that a lot of people won't have, you know. And you have to do that with tuning too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm not no tuner by any means, you know, but I know some shit now, you know. So I'm learning as I go, and I learn every day, you know. And I start to see things. It's like the Matrix. Like you see all these codes, and you're just looking at it, and you're just like, "What the fuck is all this?"
That's the code to make my car glow in the dark.
And then exactly, right. And you look at it, and you don't know what you're looking at, but now I know. I look at it, and it's everything makes sense.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it's like to others, where I used to be like that. Where like you just look at a bunch of numbers, you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" You know. But now that I look at it, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. You know.
Yeah.
Like it works out that way, but it's experience. Just like with anything in racing, it's all experience. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be the biggest, baddest motherfucker out there right off the heap. You know, you can't just jump in the boxing ring and think like you're fucking Tyson. You know, it's not gonna happen. There's only one Tyson. There's only one Abe. There's only one Chris Miller. There's only one of these really top contenders, but they hadn't got there without eating shit a bunch of times. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about that. So, in the race community right now, who do you think are some of the best tuners out? You've mentioned Abe already.
Well, in our field,
yeah,
I think Abe is probably on the top chain. You know, because he's ambitious. I mean, this is from my point of view.
Yeah,
right?
Not the best. I'm just saying, like some of the guys up in that conversation.
I mean, there's always the guys that we've always looked up to that has been doing this since fucking the time that EFI has come out, you know, and those guys are like Shane T and, you know, Nate from Motec. I always call him Nate Motec, but now he works at HPD and he does some fucking high end shit. He doesn't give a shit about us no more. Not to throw you under the bus, Nate, but you know that's how I feel. No, but we're really good friends. But yeah, you know, you got top guys like that, James Lynn. I mean, there's so many of them. Eric Sue and just at Cosworth. Now he's at HPD. There's, you know, Tyler Hara is great, and there's so many other guys, you know, like Steph Bogdock is probably another one of them that's really good. Like these are the guys that I know, you know,
gotcha.
Like I know and I keep my eye on. But Ed's really good too. Ed doesn't tune the car. I think he just gives me that responsibility as trying to. Maybe he's trying to teach me. I don't know, you know. Like I just keep it as I get information, and then I utilize that information to see what I can do.
Yeah.
You know. Whether it be bad or good, sometimes I miss on it, sometimes I not, but that's my learning curve, you know? Now I know what not to do and what to do. So every day we go out to the track, I learn something.
Yeah.
I make sure of that. I make sure I learn something. So I'm going to be a killer one day. I mean, it might not be tomorrow, might not be next week, but I know for sure because once I have that itch, it doesn't go away until I figure it out, you know? So I'm close. And I just thank all my sponsors that back us, you know, throughout all the hardships, because that's where the real sponsors lie. It's not when everything's goody two shoe and everything's good and you're on podium and you're just winning races and everything's fucking, you know, flashy and fucking lights going off and pictures being taken, your shit's being reposted. It's not always that way, man. It's always the struggle, you know. And I always look at it as every time we fail, it's something that I fail to look forward to, you know, like as much as I don't want it to happen, when it does happen, I apply it, and then it doesn't happen again, you know? So it's just, we got to figure it out until we know what happened, because that's the knowledge. You just can't brush shit off, you know? So that's kind of like where we're at, and that's what happened with World Cup. And like now when we get back, it's like immediately it was a night and day difference. We go from World Cup to having no fucking car to having the biggest piece of shit turd on the fucking block in Maryland to coming back home being, I think we qualified 1 or 2 or top half of the ladder and went to the finals. And it was probably the 2 fastest cars in the class at the finals. It was basically picture perfect. Right?
And that was this past weekend at IFO.
No, this was in December, right after World Cup.
What event was that?
IFO Vegas.
Got you.
Yeah,
okay.
December 7th.
Got you.
We went there. I had to drive, unfortunately, because Ed was busy with work. So I got in the driver's seat, and that was pretty fun and interesting. And we had a lot of fun in Vegas, man. The car was going around. So we were super happy, and we're really on high morals because we went from a not fucking working car all week, or I would say all year, to having this motherfucker who just go rounds like back to back, right? And then, unfortunately, at the very end, we are just losing a bunch of crankcase pressure. Like, it was just, the motor wasn't happy, you know? So we lost in the finals. But it was a good learning curve. We lost to Steven. And then, so we're going to go out there and...
Steven, what car is that?
Steven Ollie from Vegas. It's like a fire orange Integra. Pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice. Good dude, man. But we're going out there to stomp them out on March in March 15th. So be ready. You know, like that's I love that's the competitive nature, right? That's why we drag race. So it's all in good. It's all in good. You know, friendship and everything within the community. All in good. You know, competitiveness.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we get onto the track, that's the way it is. But it's fun because now we come to Bakersfield and we're going rounds again. You know, right off the trailer, it's PB. You know, at Bakersfield, start off right where we left off. You know, when the car was running good.
So tell me about IFO. What was your experience like over there?
You know, it's just what it is. You know, we have an event that we can attend to, and we support everything. You know what I mean? Whether or not, like, we get along, we don't get along, and some things that we believe in that maybe the promoter doesn't believe in, and other things like that, we just try to work together. You know what I mean? We try to support the event. We try to bring revenue to the sport, bring revenue to the tracks, and keep everything open, healthy, and running. Because at the end of the day, you got to make money to run. You know, so that's the way it is. You know, so with this past weekend, I had no complaints. I think everything was great. The only thing mishap that was kind of I felt a little sideways about was when we went up first rounds of eliminations. Cliff requested Ed to do a burnout immediately right after the national anthem, and a lot of stuff going on. We're you know, we have a routine. We got to turn the car on. We got to prepare the car, make sure the car is straight into the burnout box. This car is not like any other car. You know, we have a spool in it. It sits low. You need it. We might need to fucking check you out. I need to have to fucking pyrometer your fucking brain. I got a temperature right now too, bro.
The herpes is acting up.
Oh shit, man! I don't know, man. You better cover up, bro. We gotta get you one of those Chinese masks. You got one of those shits in here, dude. But anyhow, yeah, that was it was a miscommunication. You know what I mean? And all of us were kind of like, what? You want us to do what in the national anthem? Like, we were kind of like, because we, you know, that's my background. You know, I'm very, you could say I'm patriotic, or you know, I'm a huge advocate of freedoms and America and the military and all that stuff. You know? I'm a huge supporter, you know? So as you know, like any veteran or active military, they get 20% off forever. It doesn't matter, you know? So that's how I am, you know? So I love supporting that. And I was like, what the fuck did he just ask me? You know, like, I was like, I didn't want to do it. So I didn't do it. And then he's like, pull the car up into the burnout box. And I'm like, this guy's serious?
Yeah.
And I was like, we're just going to do the national. I took my hat off and I was like, ready. And then all of a sudden I said, all right, man. I said, you want this? He's like, yeah, pull it up into the burnout. So I said, Ed, turn the car on. Ed was like, huh? I was like, yeah. This guy fucking, we're just following orders, man. So we turned the car on. And then Nobody said anything. We're like, and I'm just sitting there. I'm fucking pissed. You know, I'm like, fucking, how are we gonna disrespect this? You know?
Yeah.
And then they're like, the track personnel is like, dude, I can't hear the national anthem. Have him turn off the car. Like, not saying that verbally, but like I can see his mannerisms. He's going like this. He's pointing to his ears, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, dude, he's making us look like an asshole right now. You know? And I'm like telling Ed, I said, what are we gonna do? Like, I look at him, I said, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. Look at him. And then Cliff's like, turn the car off. I said, I can't turn the car off. The car, once the car stays on, it's really difficult to turn it. When you turn the car off, it's hard to turn it back on again. You know what I mean? And we might delay something, or it might not even turn back on. I don't know.
Why? What are some of the things that causes that?
It's a mechanical pump. There's a certain way to prime it. There's a certain way to start it. We have to use starter fluid. We're completely out of it at that moment in time, which is kind of ironic. You know, like we were using brake fluid, like brake cleaner to fucking start it. It's not happy, you know? And the motor wasn't happy either. So I'm like, fuck, you know, what are we going to do? You know? And then comes the thing, it's like, after the shit is over and the other car proceeds to do the burnout, we do our burnout, and then he comes over and talks shit to us. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me, man? We're just told what to do. You told us to do that. No, you could have pulled it in the burnout box and then turned the car off. I said, dude, it doesn't work that way. I told you it doesn't work that way. And he's like, all right, I didn't know that. No. It's like, dude, you just made us look like an asshole, you know? But it was just a miscommunication error. He apologized. I apologized. We were just both heated. And my guys were heated because they're fucking military, man.
Yeah.
You know? Brian is a Marine, you know what I mean? And Romel is in the Navy, and just like, you know, I'm like a huge supporter of them, you know what I mean? It's like, I felt sideways.
Yeah.
You know, I felt really sideways. Like I wanted to go off. But I was like, keep your composure. It's miscommunication. Just chill. Everything is good. Like, fucking, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know? We made our pass. We won that round. And we just went back to the pits. But all of us were talking. Like, we were pissed. Like, we're in bad spirits right now, you know? And we figured it out. And we're just like, everybody calmed down. Everybody was cool. And it was just miscommunication. I believe that he just wanted us to pull into the burnout, turn the car off, turn it back on when the shit was done. And it's just not going to happen. I told him it's not going to happen, you know? So maybe that was the miscommunication error there. But other than that, event went overall pretty smooth, man. And I enjoy it there because Bakersfield is that professional, you know? They treat the races very seriously. They keep, you know, they make sure that everybody's safe, and they prep the track as much as they can, you know, with what they have.
Yeah.
You know? So no complaints, man. I liked it. I had a fucking blast because the core was just working like as usual, you know. So everybody was in high spirits. Everybody that was pretty much around us was pretty dope. Like, no complaints. Everybody had a great time. Looked like everybody at the track had a great time, even though there were some problems here and there with their cars breaking and stuff. Everybody was pretty.
Were you cooking?
Pretty happy. No. That was another thing that kind of helped me out. Romel was doing all the cooking. It was fucking great. I didn't have to stress on that. I could focus on the car. So
now I know when you go to World Cup, you always bring a.
Oh yeah, World Cup's a different story, man. Yeah, World Cup is like a fucking couple grand with the food, you know.
Really?
We do it big, like scallops, shrimp cocktails,
wow,
steaks. Flat, you know what I mean? Like we do.
Now is that just for your guys or just anybody that you know?
Yeah,
or?
And then our kitchen is always open at World Cup, man. Dude, we have people. Eat Sleep Race shows up. I mean, like, man, everybody knows. So everybody comes in and gets a little piece, you know, get a piece of the pie, and we don't mind, you know. Like, that's one thing that I'm huge on is like, I want to feed everybody. I don't care if I know you or not. I don't care if I hate you or not. You can come and eat.
Really?
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. You know what I mean? Because food is the universal tool of language, you know? It's like everybody get it. You can't be mad when you're eating ice cream, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be pissed off when you're having a really good taco, you know? Like, just that changes your persona and your just mannerisms all get laxed out when you eat, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know, maybe it's euphoric or whatever it might be, but it's just you feel good when you eat, you know? I
always say that food is like such a
it's a universal language.
It's like such an intimate thing, because You're literally like giving somebody life. Yeah. You know, you need food to live.
Yeah. And you put your heart into it and you put your love into it. And then that's how you spread that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's always positive.
It's very hard for me to turn away food. If I go somewhere, if I go to someone's house. I can see that. If I go to somebody's house and they make me a sandwich or something like that, I'm like, fuck.
It'd be more disrespectful to turn it down than to do, you know what I mean? That's
definitely,
what, like,
dude.
When somebody offers me food, and it's got to be, you know, a certain situation, but, you know, it would be rarely, I would be like, okay, no, it's all good. But if they like force it, hey man, you got to eat, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, it's even cool. I don't eat McDonald's. Like that's especially, one thing with me.
Yeah, especially elders and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
I just don't eat McDonald's at all. Yeah, and I went to Grid Life and then woke up in the morning. One of my buddies knocking on the tent, and I opened it up, and he brought McDonald's for all of us breakfast. And I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I got to because it's like. I feel it's disrespectful because somebody is actually thinking of you and wanting to give you life.
Exactly.
You know,
that's another thing. Yeah.
That's how I think about food. But you say even people that you don't that you don't like or whatever. Do you feel like your personality being so strong that you're misunderstood?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think that's the common thing, right? Like what I say particularly or how I type online may not. It might come off more like standoffish or like, you know, off-putting, but it's just, you know, that's how my personality is. No filter, but it's no harm, no foul for me. You know what I mean? Like I don't take, I guess I feel like I might have to kind of try to reiterate some things in my mind before I put it out there. Cause I'm just putting out from my soul. You know what I mean? I feel fake if I don't, you know what I mean? Like if I say something like, it's just how I am, you know what I mean? It might be in the wrong context, you know, and I'm not trying to probably put something out there that is not entirely written correctly, but just so that everybody knows, it's like it's not personal, you know what I mean? I'm not directing anything to like harm anybody intentionally or anything like that, or just belittle anybody or nothing like that. Just kind of like I feel like as a advocate of the sport, and like unfortunately for me, I don't look at it as I'm a guy that people look up to, but it's just the reality of the situation. It happens, right? So people look at me as like a public figure or something, you know, and I don't feel that way, but I have to realize that I am that way, and I have to fucking try to, you know, kick back a little bit sometimes, you know? So I think it's kind of like when I talk to somebody and like face to face, you could feel how I am, and you can see like my personality within you. Like you could instill these different things that you feel off, that you know that I'm like cool, versus me typing something and you're not hearing a thing, but you're just reading it. Yeah. So it's just like the whole thing where you can write like "fuck you" or something like that on a post. Right, and you would be like, "What the fuck?" But I could be like, "Fuck you, man!" Yeah. Like it's like different, you know? Like, I don't know how to explain it, and I'm like dumb like that, not to explain. That's why I have a problem. But you know, that's the way it is. You know what I mean? Like that's why I always like to talk in person. I always like to talk on the phone, because this is a totally different situation. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like when I talk shit about drag racing and stuff like that, it's not really like I'm like mad. You know, I'm just talking shit, you know, so to get you riled up to go and be more competitive and you know, change your game up a little bit, and you know, put a little pressure on you and better yourself. You know, that's kind of like what it is.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just like that because I always felt like a personality that wants to teach. I'm not a person that hides anything. You know what I mean? I want to show and I want to expose everything that I have and everything that I learned, and I want to teach the people that don't know, you know, whether you be older or younger. I am the same exact way with everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Like if somebody doesn't know something, I'll teach them. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, and a lot of people can say, yeah, because everybody that calls me and asks me tech questions from things completely irrelevant to what I have, and they understand how things work and how things, you know, like how things operate.
Yeah.
then they'll go, holy shit, I didn't even think about that. So their perspective changes. And then they're like, man, dude, you taught me a lot. And that feels good. That feels good for me. Like, I love to see people learn something every day, you know? And like with Brian too, like he came into my shop not knowing shit. Brian Guts Garage. Yeah, Guts Garage. Yeah. So, dude, man, the guy's going to be a beast, dude. He has a huge amount of potential. He just needs to, he's young right now. Yeah. So I get it. I was in his shoes and I know, like, you know how some young, you know, when you're young, you thought you know everything. Yeah. You're told what to do and then you're like, oh, I could do that. But then you don't do it really efficiently. Yeah. And then you do it good, but you don't do it efficient. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's differences. Anybody can do anything, but there's some guys that are just doing it better because they have more experience. You know, it's all about experience and knowledge. Yeah. So as he applies that, he just gets better and better. So.
I love it, man. When I seen the first time I got familiar with him was when he was making all those trips out to H days. I was like, dude, that's dope, man, because
that in itself is like commendable, bro.
Oh, super, man, because I would see his car and I'm like, bro, how the fuck did you do that?
Pile of shit. Sorry, I'm not talking shit, but dude, you drove that pile a few times. 2,700 miles.
Yeah, dude. And
that's wild, bro.
That was dope. And then when I seen him working with you, I was just like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Because you're an OG, bro. And I know that you have the knowledge that can help get him to the goal that he wants to get to, you know?
Yeah. You know, and it's everything. It's just like, don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's still young. He still has a lot to learn. But, yeah, he's getting there, man.
I love it, dude.
You just gotta keep pressuring him, and you always gotta keep the pressure on, and you just always gotta give it 100. Because why do something if you're not gonna give it 100 every day? You know what I mean? Like sometimes, yeah, you get comfortable. You know what I mean? There's certain situations where you do it day in and day out, and then just the comfortability comes in, and that's the devil. You know, like once you get comfortable, that's where you fail all the time. Like you get comfortable in certain shit, and you're just like, yeah, it's all good. That means that you're just giving up. That's to me in my eye, like, and I'm a culprit of it too, you know. Like the main thing is the diet. Dieting for me is like fucking impossible, dude. It's like my mind is already trained to be like I think I fucked myself up early because I ate at like all the best places, right? The best fucking taco spots, the best steakhouses, the best of the best.
Was this when you were in your realtor era?
No, before that. I think it was before that, but during that, yeah, man. I mean, dude,
we'd go to clients and
Ruth
shit.
Chris at fucking steakhouse on fucking Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And just like go to, oh man, shit, we're bored. Let's just go to Vegas for like a fucking couple days and fly in there. It's
I feel good. You.
And it's like you go there and you just eat at the best places in the Paris and just like, you know, you just have the best of the best, you know? And then when you have that, like everything else that's in the same ethnicity or the same quality of food, it's all trash. Like you just can't eat that anymore, you know? And that goes with the diet. It's like I eat such flavorful, like great food, and then I go to that and I have to eat fucking dried out granola with fucking plain yogurt. You know what I mean? It's just like, fuck.
Is this by doctor's request, or you just want to make life changes?
Life changes, obviously, you know, but it's tough. Because it's especially tough because for me, it's like my timeline, you know what I mean? Like from 6:30 to 2 a.m., it's like my window, you know? Like I do everything I can. And during those times, I forget to eat. Or sometimes when I'm fucking hungry, I just can't do it. You got to fucking push through. And then when you finish and when you get all that shit done, 6, 7 o'clock, and then you're just ready to go eat 8, 9, right? And then once you're at 8, 9, you go home and you're not doing anything active and you just have all that food in your system. It's fucked up. Yeah, that's my problem, you know. But during the day, I'm pretty decent. You know what I mean? But lately, when it's race season, man, I eat like trash because all the other guys eat like trash. You know, we're just like getting delivery. You know, fucking Grubhubbing it or just doing something random, and it's just like you're not gonna fucking Grubhub a salad and like, you know what I mean, like anything high quality. It's just healthy foods is just not on the table at that time, you know. 8, 9 o'clock, everybody's like pretty much like closed, you know. So you just get the In-N-Outs or the, you know, or the other junk food that's out there, pizza, whatever it might be. So yeah, that's my downfall right now. But I think I'm getting to it. At least I'm exercising now.
At least if you're aware of your downfalls or your opportunities. That's step one. Do you feel like you want to improve the way that your message comes off so it'll reach more people?
Sure. I think that's the way everybody should be or is, but I just shoot off at the hip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's my problem. I think it's not per se a problem. It's just, I think in this generation, it's different.
Yeah.
It's fucking super sensitive. It's crazy. Like I cannot grasp the situation of how drag racers and sensitivity go hand in hand now. It's bonkers to me. Like, I can't look at it as when I first started this, people were like crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of shit go down with a lot of OGs, and it's like, that's what's instilled in me. You know what I mean? Because that's the example that I was brought up to be, like drag racers are fucking huge shit talkers, and we go back and forth, but at the end of the day, we're still putting it out on the track. Now it's different. Now people take it personal. Like, the internet has created this vast audience of just sensitive fucking pansies, dude. It's weird. It's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. How can you be an egotistical drag racer and be sensitive about somebody's ones and twos that are saying something to you on a post?
Insecurities?
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, that's basically what it comes down to,
fucking unbelievable, dude.
And it's just I mean, I think the way that you look at it is from an older point of view.
That's why I think a lot of people can't resonate with that.
And
what I mean?
the way that things were, that's gone. And I've spoken to many people that have your same mentality, and I just say, like, yo, if you want to be able to connect with a more broader audience, you have to learn how to deal with each type of personality, and a lot of it is insecurities, and I have them as well.
That's ego too.
A lot of people do.
A lot of people don't like to have people talk to you a certain way or what.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's nothing personal. It's just like, some people talk a certain way. Some people put off messages a certain way, and just nothing personal. But I think a lot of people take it personal, and it's just weird. It's just kind of like, all right.
Well,
whatever,
I mean, just
cool.
Think about it from this way. If you're an OG in the race community, in the Honda community, just think about it. If they grew up looking at your car, things that you've done, and then you guys have an interaction, and then the interaction goes towards, like, you're belittling them. To them, that's how they feel.
Yeah,
like that. It's very understandable. For them to be in their feelings about something.
Yeah, which it shouldn't be. It really doesn't. It doesn't really resonate that way.
I think the skill that you have with being able to, talk shit, be abrasive, and then just brush it off, that's not a normal thing that most people have. And like, you
got to be compassionate, I guess. And I am definitely a product of my own environment too, so it's like laws of attraction. What you put out is what you get. Right? So, and I don't mind it, but that's just how I am. And I have to realize, and I have to understand that not everybody's me. Not everybody thinks like me. And I'm a constant, I guess, I'm always victim to that role, and I look at it like, but I'm just a regular dude. No, you're not. You have to think of that as like, no, you're not, dude. People look up to you, man. You got to stop that shit. And I look back, I'm like, yeah, man, like, I really get most of my encouragement just by watching, like, Ed and Ron and how they talk. Ron's crazy. Like, Ron's just like me. He doesn't care. He'll just talk shit to your face. And that's just how he is. But I really try to conform to, like, how Ed speaks and does, and how he gets his messages across, because it really does change your perspective when you read it, especially. So I'm learning that, right? Because most of the time when we're talking face to face, people get me. They know that I'm not like I'm not trying to be a dick, but
definitely
in the mindset of, like, being online and just reading it with no context behind it, or no feelings, or no, like, mannerisms of how you talk, it's different, because I'm a sarcastic person. I'm very dry. I have a very dry sarcasm, It's like that's just the way it is, And I think most people get it once they talk to me. Like, oh man, like I get it all the time when I talk to people. I'm like, dude, I'm tired of texting. Can you just call me?
Yeah.
And then we talk, and then I give him tech info when I speak. He's like, oh man, I didn't even know it was like that. Oh shit, that makes total sense. And then they start getting the ideas and the product value and everything else in between, because that's ultimately what I talk about. This is my product, because people don't know how to use it. And then once they figure it out, they're like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome. So that makes me feel good. But yeah, I guess in this generation, so to speak, you just got to conform.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we really do have to conform, because you know, we're in this for the long haul. So we just have to adapt to the nature of the beast, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just drag racing. It's everything in whole.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't blame the younger generation. I actually feel really bad for them that they didn't grow up in the era before the internet.
And that's why a bunch of this era is soft. It's soft as shit, man. It's crazy, because like I that's why I'm terrified, like with my kids. And that's why a lot of people, when they see me, or like when I'm out with my wife and I discipline my child, she's like, dude, you can't do that no more. I'm like, I don't fucking care what everybody thinks about me in this restaurant. I don't care what this guy thinks about me. I'm trying to do what's best for my son, and my son has to learn, and my daughter has to learn certain things that are not good and some things that are fine. You know, like you teach them. You know, you teach. That's why I teach everybody. You know, you don't have to be necessarily that hard on them, but I have to show them that, hey man, this world is not all fucking sunshine and rainbows, you know? Like you're gonna have to feel, you have to almost suffer and feel that type of feeling to know what the good half of it is, you know what I mean? What the good part of life is, you know what I mean? You have to feel the bad parts before you feel the good parts, right?
Yeah.
So I think with this generation, it's great. I think it's on a positive note, but we just have to understand that, like, almost have to teach them that, you know, certain things are said because that's just the way life was for me, you know? Not necessarily like kids these days have like a certain mentality of like going, well, you know, since you're a company owner, you should talk this way, or you should be more professional this way. But in reality, I'm just the average guy, you know, just doing my thing, going to work every fucking Monday through Friday and grinding it out. And a lot of these guys are just getting handed stuff to them these days, you know? It's like knowledge and stuff that we grinded out, that we spent tens of thousands of dollars to figure out. And they just want it in a silver platter and like have you like pretty much walk you through it with your hand, like holding their hands and just being like, this is how you do it.
But don't you feel like there was some information and some knowledge that was handed to you like that?
Well, yeah, some things, but some things you got to work for it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like down to the common sense core, right? It's like, you know that an engine needs oil. You know that an engine needs water. You know that certain temperatures, you should know that certain operating temperatures should be met before you do certain things, right? You don't just start your car off in the morning and then fucking just rev it to red line and fucking drop the clutch. It just doesn't work that way, you know? But certain things that people need to understand is those small issues, you can figure that out by yourself, you know? It's a thing called Google. Like a lot of the stuff that I don't know, I Google it. Like it's very easy. Like I don't know a lot of stuff. And then when I don't, guess what? I Google it. I don't know what the fuck coronavirus is. I Google it. I don't know what, you know, why this certain part does this. So I Google it. And then I start going down that rabbit hole. Everybody can educate themselves very easily, you know, not like, well, what tool do I use? And what tire do I, what tire pressure do I run and stuff like that. Those are the questions that are valid questions, but don't ask me like, what's a 10 millimeter bolt? You know, like, I don't
ask me.
Yeah.
I'll take care.
yeah, exactly.
Counseling.com, I got
you. Shameless plug. But I'm just saying, like, that's, in all seriousness, it's that, you know? And I think a lot of companies can understand and resonate with me on that, because you spend a lot of time on the phone answering those very, very basic questions, which these customers or clients or racers should very well understand before they get into something, right? Like, you don't get in a car and try to race it when you don't know what the gas pedal is and what the brake pedal does and what the clutch pedal does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You kind of have to have the basic sense of like that when you're working on your car or building your car, or, you know what I mean? Like, you know that you're not, like, the common sense for me is I'm not going to take a 1/2-inch breaker bar to a 10 millimeter bolt. People do that shit, bro. Like, I tightened this shit and it broke. I was like, what did you use? I used this. And he pulls out a fucking 1/2-inch fucking ratchet with a 10 millimeter. Like in theory, the world, I'm going to tell this to every tool manufacturer on the planet. If you have a 10 millimeter on a 1/2-inch drive socket, I swear to God, you guys need to discontinue that part. You need to discontinue any 1/2-inch fucking ratchet socket, like adapter, all the way up to about 14 millimeters. Okay. All of that shit needs to be, 3/8 or smaller, you know, like, so that there's just no torque involved in breaking that bolt. But people do it all. It's a daily occurrence.
Really?
Yeah. They just over torque everything. Like, just, they're negligent in that sense. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, I battle every day, but I get it. You know what I mean? Like, say if this guy starts from zero, right? I have to retrain my mind and go, don't be a dick. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's supporting your product. He bought your product. So now just help him out, you know, even though he doesn't know anything. And I'm getting to that point, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm at fault, you know. Sometimes I shoot off at the hip and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, like, dude, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you know, like, stop doing that, you know. And that was years ago. Yeah. And now when I come to this new decade, I'm like, I have to retrain my mind to say, these guys really don't know nothing. And you have to be an advocate to teach them, you know what I mean? Be a teacher to them, you know? And I think ultimately it's been working out for me pretty well. So
there's definitely a lot of value.
Yeah, absolutely. That, man. No, and I had to step back and see it from their point of view too, because that's the way I am, you know what I mean? I just don't want to be like really unbiased and be like, no, my way is the highway, you know? Yeah. And I get it, you know what I mean? Some of these guys, they need direction, you know? They need to be taught a certain way. And the first thing I do is just, don't text me, just call me, you know? And once I have that conversation, I spend most of my day having conversations. As like, it's hard to believe. Like lately, as of recently, remember I told you I hired a media guy to just take care of all my Facebook, Instagram, all that. That is not me anymore. I don't do it anymore. I maybe get in there once or twice, but I answer the DMs, and that's basically all I do. All the other posts, they're not me. Yeah. It's just the agency that I hired that's basically covering all of that. So all that you guys see online now, it's not me anymore. So it's been working out great for me as far as time-wise, because obviously I'm very small and I like to keep in control of everything. But naturally it's growing. Now this is alleviating to me to have more time and build the company the way I want.
Now, when did you start looking at things differently as far as you being stuck in your way versus you wanting to change your way to adapt to the newer generation?
Yeah, about like a year. I think within the last year, yeah. Nice. Within the last podcast we did, I think it was like that. When I like really took a step back, I was like, this is constantly happening. So why is it happening? Yeah. And then I'm going, okay, since we can't change it, we have to adapt to it. Yeah, definitely. So instead of me shooting off at the hip and going, hey, man, what the fuck? You don't know what the fuck you're doing? Or like, hey, man, look, this is how you're supposed to do it. I know you're not coming from a mechanical background that has expertise. So I'm going to teach you. Yeah. You know? And just call me and I'll run you through it. You know what I mean? And it does take a little bit of time, but I think ultimately it does pay off, because now you have that customer for life and you have that support, you know, from that guy that basically thought you were once a dickhead. You know, now it's like, oh, wow, yeah, it really does make sense, you know? Like, you just taught me something that I never knew, you know?
Yeah, so, man, it's so easy to turn people away, and it's so easy to get people on your side. You know, you get like an army. It's so crazy. This I was on YouTube, right? And I watched this video that we were tagged in, and I seen a comment, and it was like a negative comment towards Downstairs from like 3 years ago, right? So, then I just go on Instagram and I find the name, because usually the names will match.
Sure, yeah.
So I found the guy, and I just liked one of his pictures. 3 years later, just like one of his pictures. I don't know. I looked at his stuff. He doesn't support us. I looked at the comment that he made like 3 years ago is definitely negative.
Yeah.
Fuck Downstar.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like this picture, whatever. This was like a week ago. Then I get like a tag from this dude. And he's like, I just checked out Downstar, their podcast. It's so good, so much information. And he made on his channel, he made a YouTube channel, a video of a review of the podcast.
Nice.
And I'm like, dude, that's so tight that I could just like turn somebody who didn't like us at all and just show them some kind of love. Like, whether if you feel that way about us, that's cool. But I don't have to feel that way, you know? So trying to change things instead of doing the old way of, I would think about like, yo, fuck you. Who the fuck are you? You know,
but it's
whatever.
so easy to be like that.
It's so easy
to be negative and just do a real quick fuck you post and then be out, you know? And it really doesn't really register, I think, for the end user that did that until you come up and say, hey, you know, it's all good. Like you acknowledged it. And then now they're going, oh, man, I got a reaction.
Yeah.
And then now they kind of retract. And human nature always tells us either it's, you know, it's very simple. Like what, how humans are, it's almost predictable. Yeah. Right. You got good and bad, and you got fucking good intentions and bad intentions. And then you got like happy and sad, you know? So maybe this guy was just in a moment where he was just like, fuck you. He was in a bad moment, but that's not actually how he really felt. But it did affect you to the point where you're like, damn, what the fuck, you know? And you actually took the time and allocated your time, your precious time, to go search for him and do all that and find him and then like his post so that he knows that you didn't really take offense to it. And then he feels some type of way. He's like, oh, dude, that. And then he'll retract and kind of go, that was kind of dickish, you know? Maybe I should.
I think a lot of it,
that same love.
I think a lot of it was even
it's miscommunication,
subliminal. You know, it didn't even register.
Absolutely, it's most of it's like that.
And I understand that. You know, I understand people a lot. And one of my my biggest things is like I love to understand people, psychology, how people work.
That's what like before I used to call it mind fucking.
Yeah,
but now I'm like I'm more so on the opposite side of the spectrum now.
Yeah,
you know?
I have a power to manipulate people.
Everybody does. It's the laws of attraction. If you put out what you put out, whether it be positive or negative, that's what you're gonna get.
And I feel like earlier on in my career, it was leaned more towards the negative side of things because that was just my reaction. Somebody says something bad about me. Absolutely. Well, I have this. I do this. Yeah. You know, but
ego
instead
takes over.
Of course, dude. I'm a very egotistical person, and I think have so much pride.
Somewhat.
And it's just something that I know that is my downfall and I need to control. So this new journey that I'm on, trying to change the trajectory of my life, changing from positive to negative. It's going to
ultimately change your company too.
Yeah, definitely. And it has, you know, I think that not only Downstar, but the podcast, me, myself, people are looking at us in such a different light from maybe a year and a half of me putting effort, like making a conscious decision.
Sure.
Like that's not the legacy that I want to leave. Just like when you're making it, you know, that's not, I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want people to think I'm an asshole. I want people to think I'm a good guy because I'm trying to do good things, you know? So the podcast really helps out with that.
Sure.
You know,
because people can relate to you because they're hearing your voice and they're hearing how you're projecting yourself. You know what I mean? So that's totally different from writing a post.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time I get it. We're a victim of it too. I'm guilty of it. I don't really read through the whole post, you know. I'll read some bullet points, and then if it's interesting, I'll read the whole thing. But if not, I'm just keeping it moving. You know what I mean? Because there's thousands of things that pop up on feeds and random and algorithms and like shit that you should normally not see are being seen. And I don't know how it all works.
Yeah.
I'm learning as I go, but it's pretty wild. Like we'll talk about something and then that thing is literally listening to us the whole time. And now when we look on our phone, it's going to be putting that into gauging that interest. You know? And I think that's the way the whole community is. It's like once you start seeing people engage in a negative fashion, it's just like a flame. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's like you're dousing fire. And then random other people that will get in there, they don't really mean by it or mean any malice, but they're doing it because they're just subconsciously seeing that. So then they already get put in a bad mood.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So that's the attraction side of things, right? So like if we put out more positive energies and stuff like that, we generally get that back. You know, there's gonna be a couple bad seeds in there, but hey, man, let them fucking deal with their own personal lives. You know?
Yeah, I started looking at things a lot differently, man.
Yeah.
When somebody comes at me with negativity, I have to think like,
Me
yo,
too, man.
this is how they feel.
I'm just
this
like,
is
have a good day, man.
That's
it's
what
all
they're
good,
going
brother.
through.
Thank you, dude. And
but I can't give them the power to affect my day.
absolutely.
And I realized that
you got to understand how much power you really do have over things. You just got to see it a different way, you know?
And even since, like I said, since we've been doing this podcast, I've seen the...
you seem happier.
I've seen the spectrum of things change a lot. And even people that I communicate with and reach out to, my reach is a lot further.
Sure.
Now the respect level is a lot higher because I'm looking at myself. I'm treating myself with more respect. The actions that I have are more respectful. So I'm able to reach a broader audience.
Absolutely. And that's the way it goes with anything. Like if you conform to that, at the end of the day, you're going to be happier. You know what I mean? You're going to ultimately, if you put positive energy out all the time, even though there's some negative shit around you and you X that out, you're just, eventually it just goes away. And then you're just attracting all this positive energy, you know, whether it be in your business or your personal life, it all resonates the same. You can't just turn the switch off. You know what I mean? As much as I love to have it that way, where I just want to just turn the world off and just like go dark for a little bit, it just doesn't. You know what I mean? It's always in the back of my mind, and like it consumes me unless I change that mentally and go, dude, stop thinking it that way. Just think of it this way. It's much better. And then your persona changes, your mentality changes, and your everything is just better. You know what I mean? When I come into work and I go, fuck, man, I got so much shit to do and this and that. But I can come into work and go, God damn, I have a fucking, dude, I'm making the fucking baddest parts in the world. You know, like, I'm overwhelmed. I should be like jumping up and down because like other people don't even have work. You know what I mean? And I'm like neck deep in shit in work, you know? And it feels great. You know what I mean? So just change your perspective all the time on like things like that, because we all take it for granted. Like we come to work, oh, fuck, you know, like after like a huge sale, you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? And so stressed out, and like you got guys asking you for tracking numbers 30 seconds after they pay, and you're just like, dude, man, chill, bro. Like, look, man, just try to understand, you know, like we have a lot of shit, and just, you know, but I guess we just have to, they don't know, so we just have to educate them and say, hey man, I'm a small business. I'm not Ralph's, I'm not Walmart, you know, I'm not Amazon, you know, like we make a specialty product and it should be treated as such. You know what I mean? Like you're getting something intrinsic. You're getting something that's completely handmade, that was engineered to be the fucking baddest shit that you can buy. That's what I want to be, you know? Like I want people to understand that. I'm not trying to be a mass productionist and sell 50,000 exhausts, you know? Like I'm not that guy, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to sell intake tubes on a fucking massive scale. I'm selling you the best thing that I can fucking produce, you know? And it has my heart and soul into every part, you know? And I think slowly people are kind of understanding that, you know what I mean? They shouldn't understand the value. Stop devaluing something that should be high valued. You get what I'm saying? Like, why devalue your car and putting that inferior shit on? It's your car. It's all the money that you put in. Don't put in something that's just like cheap Chinese, or, you know what I mean? And I hate to emphasize that because there's great Chinese products. Like, a lot of the stuff that we get, China's on another level. Like they're kind of surpassing us at a certain, you know, rate. You know what I mean? And it's like, whoa, you know, Huawei, like when you look into that company and you look into all those smart fucking technology companies, they're dwarfing us. Like that iPhone 11 shit ain't shit no more, bro. Like they had that shit 5 years ago. Like we're behind the curve big time, you know? And I can't say that for when it trickles down to the manufacturing level, like, you know, part that are being made in China and bringing over here. It's still high quality, but the QCs they're different though. The QC over there is just trash. You know what I mean? You have to QC it here on another level. You know what I mean? Because half thou is a half thou, you know, like meaning measurement wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's certain things that are just wide open and certain things that are closed, and it's inconsistent, but you get it, you know. But that's what I'm just trying to say is, you know, like, don't depreciate your car with shit that is already depreciated. You know what I mean? Like, I get people can't afford certain things and work really hard to get certain products on their car, and those are all great attributes to the build. Like, and that's what we're talking here, because we're into cars. That's what we're in the business for. So just get the best thing that you can get without trying to break the bank, you know. But if you have to do it, there's certain things that you just have to bite the bullet and get, because
that you can't cheap out on.
Yeah, like, just like with the car show shit, like when I see guys out there with like knockoff wheels, I'm just like, damn, that car was beautiful, but it had that. Why did it, like, it just devalued that whole shit, you know what I mean? And that's how I see it in racing, you know what I mean? Like, it's all the same thing. Like, you go out there and you're like, damn, man, why'd they do that?
If you're trying to make the best meal, you got to have the best ingredients.
Absolutely.
And if you cheap out on a certain ingredient, then the presentation, the meal isn't going to be the highest quality.
Yeah.
And if you're okay with that, that's fine. But for people who are connoisseurs of, you know, great tasting, presentable meals, that's going to be something that's going to be a downfall. And it's just natural.
And that's with anything we do, you know. But in car related fashion, that's what we seek. You know what I mean? That's as far as the manufacturer goes, that's what I seek. I want to be the best. I want to provide the best, and I want to have nobody talk shit about it. You know, like, it's just literally impossible to. You know, just like, yeah, that shit is record breaking, 200 mile an hour, you know, piece of equipment that's there, you know, like it's been used, you know, like, it's good, you know. So I think a lot of the time customers should see that, you know what I mean? Because I don't see a lot of them or take companies for granted too. They're like, oh yeah, whatever, we just, you know, next time, or like, do this or do that. And I get it, you know, but you know, you do something and then it compromises everything else in line, you know. So that's like, whether you get, and there's tons of great companies out there, I'm not trying to knock anybody, you know what I mean, but it's just like, you know, treat your car like you would treat yourself, you know what I mean? Don't do this if you know that there's something better, you know. So that's all. I think anything is within reason, but you know, it would be much better for the community to look at it as that, because a lot of the times, and I'm guilty of it too, when I go on Amazon and I just try to find the cheapest shit and just buy
50 cents cheaper,
and then I get it and it's like charging wires, right? Just charging. You buy 10 pack for like $8, and I'm going through those motherfuckers like, fucking goddamn it, shit don't work, and next thing you know, you're buying another pack. But then lately I was like, dude, I'm gonna buy this high quality shit. I still use that. I'm like, dude, one time and it's like $20, and it's cool, man. I'll pay it now, you know. So that's the catch, you know.
It's a life lesson, man.
Yeah. So I hope that trickles down to the automotive community, because, you know, I think it's the best it's ever been, you know. Like, I've been around for so long, and it's really fun, and I think we're making huge strides as a community, and everybody's pushing each other, and you know, it's like East and West is coming together now, and just like everything looks fun, you know. Everything's good, you know. It's a good time to be alive, bro. As much as I hate to say, like, you know, everybody's sensitive and things like that, but I get it, you know what I mean? I can dig it, you know.
Life is good.
Yeah, man, life is good. Dude.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna take a quick break for our sponsors, and we'll be back in 1 minute. Yo, what's up, fool? Make sure you check out Downstar for all of your dress up needs. Get it poppin' over here. We have all the kits for the K series, the B series, the transmission, the mounts, the engine, the Toro, baby. We have the hardware for the seats, for the stereo. We got it for the speakers. We got it for the lug nuts. We got it for the air valves. We got it for everything, dog. So you make sure you hit us up at downstarinc.com, or you call us up, fool. You can even text us, lame, 818-937-3472. Just shoot us a text and tell us what's up, dog. I need some fucking balls in this bitch. Hit us up, downstarinc.com. Hey, and if you got an Instagram, slide in our fucking DM at Downstar. Wait, hit up the homie, Frank_Downstar. He's the one that takes care of all the DMs. Hit that level up and shoot him a message, and he'll get you all taken care of real nicely. All right, so speaking of the products that you do offer and what goes into you've been hitting the all-wheel drive stuff pretty hard. How's that going?
It's going extremely well. Any new product that we develop usually takes about a year or so. We had a huge hiccup with, employee leaving and just job shops just fucking burning us back left and right. It was one of those bad times where just like you had to go through it. You know what I mean? You had to go through that growing pain, and just kind of getting through it. It was tough. Lost a bunch of money doing it. I think 2 or 3 job shops fucking shafted me pretty good on that deal. And then it just kind of, you live and you learn, man. You just try to expand and try to use new people and try to see if one works better than the other or efficiency, because all businesses are different. And it just didn't work out. So went back to what I knew and getting back to the rhythm of things, and everything's been great so far. So we're stockpiling. We have hundreds of units in stock. But it's hard to upkeep on the welding side and getting parts that are heat treated and getting it, back to us. It's an ongoing battle, but everything's working out pretty good. All-wheel drive stuff, we mainly cater to drag racers and hardcore shit. So those guys are forever building their car. I think it's safe to say that most of those cars are going to be coming out this year. And it's going to almost feel like a tsunami of FCS fucking all-wheel drive cars.
Hell yeah.
All at once, and people are like, where the hell did it all come from? But it stems from picking and choosing your customers, right? Because I really do. I really look at it as, who's gonna do really what, and who's gonna really need the builds quickly and done, and there's certain. It's just the name of the game, right? For me, because I'm just a drag racer at heart, through and through. So I really cater to those guys. I cater to anybody that's really serious. Like if I know that they're serious, we're having phone calls. So, and I don't treat anybody differently, but I know, like, when I get into the cusp of things and see where their builds are at and where they're at and what they really need, I know who I can help more so than others at that specific time. You know what I mean? I help everybody.
It's a smart business.
But but I got to be like, this guy's close. Priority. I got to help him, and then there's other guys that are just building my car. Okay. We could take care of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I treat things differently like that, but it's just case by case basis.
Yeah.
But that's just the name of the game. That's why we're small, and I consider ourselves like a specialty company. You know what I mean? We're not like mass production, like, on that scale, even though I do treat it as that. Like, we got 500 all-wheel drive hubs. I don't think anybody's fucking done that. You know what I mean?
Killing it.
Yeah, and I love it. We've made already 200 something back plates, and we have like down to 50 units left. So they're out there.
Yeah, I seen the build that Aki's doing for Guncast. Keep going in the lefty all-wheel drive
build, dude. So gorgeous.
I love it, dude.
And I watching that through when it started until now, and like when I first originally sent him the kit, and just like how he utilized it, and like he's a genius in that aspect.
Marketing genius for sure. Yeah,
and it's, as much as everybody has the throw the negative shade on him, he kills them with success, bro. He destroys it. Like, it just, every time, like, I see it, I see the future when he tries to do something. And I'm like, this guy's on it,
Yeah.
This guy's the real deal. He doesn't sugarcoat nothing. He gets it done. He says what he's gonna do, and he just executes,
Yeah.
And that's what separates him from everybody else. You know what I mean? And even though, like, how he produces his thing, like how he produces his content and stuff, and like how he reverberates with his community and his following and stuff like that, it's only catered to the people that cater to him. Like, you know what I mean? That support him. And I get it. Like, he's basically cutting out all the filler. Like, he's like going, I'm not going to cater to people that half-ass me or like don't support me 100%. And I completely understand that. You know what I mean? And that's why he does so well.
Yeah.
Because he's like really catering to the people that cater to him. You know what I mean? And which you should. You know what I mean? That's completely 100. That's 100% like how you should be. Because why support somebody that doesn't support you? You know what I mean? It's redundant. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I feel like in my eyes, how I do things is I like to just resonate on an open playing field at all times, right? Because that's the way business is. You know what I mean? Like you have to cater to everybody, not just one set of people, like even though there's some people that throw shade, I just don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he pays a little bit too much attention to it, but it should be that way because he knows who's real, who's not. And that's why I like working with him, and that's why like I'm really close with him now. Is that's how I am. You know what I mean? That's deep down inside, that's how we all are. But he just projects it. You know what I mean? Like we all try to be like, oh, it's cool, whatever, and you're like passive. You're really passive about it. But him is like, fuck that. No, this is how it was. This is how it went, and no, that's not right. And it is. It's not right, dude.
Yeah.
And I think so many stories when I run into, everybody always resonates with that. And whether people like to interact or watch him or don't watch him and don't want to interact with him, still do. Because he's in your mind subconsciously now because he's put that out there.
Yeah.
He's verbalized it out in the open. So people verbalized it out in the open and people are like, that's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And then the same situation happens to them and they're like, dude, that shit happened to me.
Yeah.
And then it clicks, right? So it takes about a time. But yeah, man, dude, he's fucking killing. That all-wheel drive kit is, I built it to be engineered fucking badass. And he put it out there correctly, like.
Yeah, that whole build that he did, the content that he's creating as far as the YouTube channel and then the gun cast, dude, it's awesome, man. Yeah. And I love what they're doing.
Yeah, Vicky.
Shout out to Vicky.
Yeah, and that was my boy, man. I love that guy. He's so funny.
If you guys aren't watching that show, like you're really fucking up because it's funny. It's not just about cars. It's it's great content, and I love it.
They're so in tune with each other. That they're just boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's
I love it.
That's an unbreakable bond right there. You know what I mean? And you could just totally see it just by watching them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's so awesome to watch because like everybody wants that with somebody. Somebody to share with because you all want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
And I think that's why like Augie has such a great fan base because people are allowed to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like when we grow up, we always want to be part of the cool shit or a part of something, when just imagine when you were little kids. Like I always tell everybody then, I wish we could just be kids.
Yeah.
Like you just want to be part of something when you're like, getting to play baseball and you're getting picked. You want to be the guy that gets picked on the better team. Like you're like, oh man, I want to be part of that team. I want to be there. I want to get on that. Like I think that basically comes out to be that way in anything we do, like in racing. Like a lot of people come and go, even in my team and even in like other people's teams and businesses and stuff like that. People only join it because they want to be a part of something. You know what I mean? They want to be a part of that group that has some value that they can resonate to and be a part of, and like support and be a team player. You know what I mean? Just like when we watch sports, right? We're like fucking Lakers. And even though they're like suck right now or whatever, we're just like diehard Lakers. Like, get it. You're a part of that. You wear the jersey, you watch the games, but you don't know any of those guys personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you support that. You know what I mean? And that goes with racing too. Like you kind of connect with other teams and be a part of that. And that's why my pit is always open to everybody. Like if you want to get in it, just come in and get in it. This is all good. Like you just got to put your dues in, like with anything, you just got to put your dues in. Nothing is given to you. Nothing is just like handed on you with the silver platter. You got to get in there. You got to grind. You got to do the shit. You got to do the dirty work, and you got to be good at being consistently doing it. You know what I mean? Before it's accepted. You know what I mean? Because that's the way I got into the business. I just was the shithead kid that never left. It was just constantly just let me do something. You want me to broom, clean, whatever? I just want to be a part of this, you know? Like, just let me in, you know? Let me in the door, and I'll show you. I'll give you my 100%. And that's the way his following base is, man. It's very loyal now.
Yeah, I think one of his biggest successes is being able to realize that he has his own community, his tribe.
Absolutely.
And he caters to them. And a lot of other people that can be in his place, they have the same, it's probably the same type of people, the same community, but they
different
don't
energy.
They don't show them the same sort of love, you know. And that's how I like to look at things. For me, is like I always wanted to spread Downstar and have everybody rocking Downstar, but now my mentality is like, you know, anybody that supports us, I want to keep supporting them
absolutely
at the same time, because
100%.
Then other people are going to see it and then be like, damn, this company reshares my stuff, they comment or whatever, and this other company, they don't give a fuck about me. That's why whenever you come to a show and we have a booth, anybody that passes in front of us, I always say what's up, even if they're not looking at us. Yo, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? And it just builds that rapport that it's like, yo, this is something that is inclusive. I want all you guys to be part of this. I want you guys to be part of this journey, rather than having
it's more genuine and everything. You know, like if anything, it's just when you're genuine about stuff and you have good intentions, it's always gonna resonate that way in anybody. Like anybody that follows the stuff, you know. Like,
definitely
follows anything out there. Like there's certain pages that you follow just because it's like, you know, the content that you follow, whether it be funny or whether it be like just like really crazy videos or just like something stupid just to keep you entertained. But most of the time when they follow the car community stuff is because they want to be a part of that company. You know what I mean? They want to be like, that's why a lot of people resonate to certain companies, you know what I mean? And it's great, you know what I mean? It's just, it builds it that much more. But hopefully those other people really realize that too, and they don't, you know, like we were talking about when I posted that thing about the kids like at the track, like we're all guilty of it. We all just act like a bunch of monkeys, you know, just like.
So that was not to cut you off, that was a quote that says somewhere in the track there's a kid that wants to be just like you, so just like act accordingly or whatever.
Exactly. So like I always think about it and I go, dude, that's why I bring my son all the time to the track, you know. And my son is always at the track, always. Like there's very rare occasions he's not, you know. So I always do that, and when he's there I try to act as if I'm his role model. Obviously I am. So I try to you know, infectiously put that on him to be this way, you know. And I see it now. It's crazy. Like he'll immediately get to work. He has like his work ethic is like on point, and obviously he's a kid. He has, you know, his ADD moments and like, oh wow, squirrel, and then take off, you know. But that's the way kids are, you know. Like they'll see something fun and they'll go off and they'll have fun in the dirt, and there's nothing in there, but they're just having a ball, you know. But when it comes down to certain things, like he knows, like his common sense is unmatched now. You know, like he knows what to do. He knows not when to be around. He knows when to be around. He knows what I need. Like he'll see us work on the car, he'll just automatically just go in the trailer, grab you a rag because he knows you need one. Like he's there. Hell, you know what I mean? Like all the tools. He's like, he knows what he knows all the tool lineups. He's like, you tell him to go get something, like he's already on it.
That's awesome.
Man. It's great, you know. So I try to do that with other kids that are passing by, and you know, like when I try to tell other people, like what I'm trying to project now is, when you're really at the track, that was the thing. Like it resonates back to what Aki was saying, dude. It was like we're so in tune with what we need to do and be busy that we don't spend the time to actually even interact with the people that support us, which is completely wrong. Like we have to stop, take a few seconds out of our day and go, what's up, man? How's everything going?
Thanks,
you know,
for
just
the
like you're
support.
saying. Like, dude, they're watching us, you know what I mean? And one hello can go a long way, you know, a very long way. Even though as busy as it might be, people are like, come out, and then they'll just watch you. They just want to watch you. You know, watch you work on the shit, even though you're struggling and everybody's pissed and everybody's like, fucking this and that and like that. And it's just like, I kind of try to instill that in the guys too, and just be like, hey man, you know, we are being watched. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I don't say it, I feel it, you know, like I feel it's like this Dragon Ball moment where, you know, like you just feel like somebody's watching you, turn around, you're like, oh shit, there's a bunch of kids there. Just don't be like, don't be a dick, you know, like. And when I see the kids, I'm like, dude, man, you want to sit in the car? I tell every single child from like, I don't know how long, I think 07, 06 is like when I first originally did it, when I was with the NHRA. Like, because we were really trying to pursue the younger generation, the high school kids, the automotive programs in high schools and stuff. And I went to after school programs, and I did all that in Burbank High, at their high school, and it was great. Like, I did it out of just my own goodwill. I didn't get paid for it. I just went there and I just kind of fed them knowledge, you know, like brought my race car there. I stored my race car at the high school. Like, that was a great moment in my time. You know, I did that with Jeff K, which is now working for, I think, Ganesh Machinery. He's like a CNC operator now. Like, he's the one that basically sets up the CNCs.
Gotcha.
But he used to be the instructor there. So he's a Valley guy, Valley native, dude, all about it. So that's kind of like when I wanted to resonate with people at the track too, was like, as it comes back, it's like, you have to interact with your fans or the shit's gonna die. You know what I mean?
No, you're definitely right, man. And there's people that I've passed by their booths, or, you know, wanted to check out their setup, and I just get the kind of like that, yo, you're bugging me kind of vibe, and I'm just like,
can't do that, man.
All right, cool. You know, I'm just a fan of this stuff. You know, and I want to be part of this. And if I pass by a booth and someone's like, hey, what's up, man? Oh, how you been? That will change my mind quickly.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's I lend so much of that success to Aki, and what he has going on is because he's a really personable person, and he understands that, like,
he killed it in Vegas. Like, pitted next to him in Vegas, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much time he spends with them. Like, he doesn't care about the car. He like cares about his followers and his fan base and like the kids, and just, you know, that's infectious. Yeah, it really is. Like, I look at it and I'm like, dude, man, like, I want to do more of that.
You know? Like, yeah, you know, so I love it, man. And it's just opportunities, pointing out opportunities. If there's people listening, if you don't do things like that doesn't mean that you can't try it out. We got a lot of events coming up. H-Day's on the way. You know, maybe be a little more interactive with people, because at the end of the day, we're businesses. If you're a race team, you represent people. This is all a production, and to get more people in your community, in your tribe, you have to do more than just be the best.
Yeah, not me. I don't even look at it other people like that. I just want to be nice and kind to them. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people think that when we're extremely busy, I'm gonna project this out there, is anybody that's watching us and working on our cars, or we're thrashing or whatnot, just stick around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid to say, hey, what's up, man? This and that. I you know, like, such and such. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing and talk to you. You know what I mean? That's just who I am. You know, I think a lot of people are just like, oh, don't bother them, they're really busy. They look like, don't think that way. At least for me, for my sake, don't think that way. I want you to interact with me. It's just sometimes I don't know who's who, because it's just, you know, you're in an environment where there's thousands of people walking by all the time, and you don't know if they're paying attention to you or not, because you're busy too.
Yeah.
But that's on the other end of the spectrum. The fan base view is, man, I want to talk to him. Like, you have to get my attention, just like a waiter, you know, like, hey man, I need a glass of water. Like, he's not gonna know you're thirsty until you say, hey man, what's up, you know. So I love that. I love when fans just like, oh man, I know you're busy, but I just want to come by and dude, it makes me feel so good when you stop me and let me, you know, like, interact with you and let me talk to you. Dude, it was just this past weekend, my buddy Desmond's brother, dude, I haven't seen him in a minute. I didn't even recognize him, bro. And he had his daughter with him. I didn't even know. I was like, dude, man, I was just talking to his daughter. I was like, hey, you want to get in the car? She's like, yeah, you know, like, dude, she was all about it. Jumped in the car, started the car. She was like, oh, she's all having fun. She's like, glad. Yeah. It was the greatest moment, I think, of the weekend. right?
Yeah.
That made me feel so good.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
and I'm sure that made him feel so good, and her, and just maybe that will just instill her to do something later with cars. You know, I don't know. You know, we don't know where the bite is gonna be, or that bug that's gonna bite. We just gotta make sure that we continually do that to make sure that this keeps going well after we're gone.
I love it, man. Yeah, just gotta give that energy that you want to receive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. But that's what we've been saying this whole podcast.
Shout out to Aki and Vicky and the Guncast, man. That show is awesome. You guys got to check it out. He's actually going to be giving away the lefty tomorrow. So this is going to come out Thursday. So Friday, I think you got to go to the website. The 21st. So this is coming out on Thursday. So tomorrow, which will be Friday, they're gonna do the I think you go to the website and you buy like a gift bag or something like that, $60. It comes with some things, and that enters you in to win it. Right hand drive, all wheel drive, turbo, K series, fully built and everything. I'm gonna buy something, dude. I'm gonna try to enter.
I'm already all about it, man. I'm getting it. You know, I'm getting that.
Make sure you guys check that out. But you also got a sale dropping today, which is Thursday.
Yep.
Tax time baller sale.
So, dude, we rarely do sales. We're just doing this to kind of get the business out more than previous years, because we do. I think we did like one or two, you know, and then we did some stuff with Aki.
Yeah.
Now Aki's a little more independent. He's a lot more busier, so we wanted to provide a sale for the guys that are getting their tax returns, and all about the builds. Building high quality builds with high quality parts, and we want to provide that for the the loyal following. And we just want to say thank you to everybody, and that's also including the veterans and the active military. There's obviously 20% off forever for them. They don't even have to hesitate.
Nice.
We'll always take care of them, no matter what. So but yeah, the tax season is to be announced when it's gonna end, but most of the situation is gonna be what we have in stock, and then once it sells, it sells.
Yeah,
it's it. So that's how the sale is probably most likely gonna end, because everybody gets their checks right on the day. So
yeah,
it's gonna probably run through March, and it's
so the sale starts today, Thursday, which is the 20th. 20% off. Use code
TAX20.
TAX20. Sick, bro.
Yeah, man. It's going to be pretty cool, man. So get your all-wheel drive stuff in. Get your rear trailing arm stuff, fuel cells, catch cans, brake kits. And by the way, I actually need to pick up some stuff from you, too. And
Hell yeah.
Take a little small pallet
I got
with
you
me.
some stuff. I got you whatever you need right here.
Yeah, man. So that'd be really fun. I'm really happy and fortunate to have the guys that come to the shop and help me every day. You know, Anthony, Brian, Ramel, Chris, Adrian, everybody, just the whole team. Dude, man, we kill it. Like, I look at us and I look at other teams. And I'm like, dude, man, I don't know how we do it. We go to 9 to 5, 9 to 6 job, regular job. We come here and we grind and we go home late. And we do it all over again, week in, week out, and it's just like brutal. But then now it's almost like that thing where repetition, right?
Yeah.
That repetition that we're doing, we always complain about, oh man, we're hurting, blah blah blah. But then when you kind of keep going into that flow, it's no other way now for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going late, waking up, or if I go home early, I'm on the internet. I'm just always something. It's always something that needs to be filled, and I try to do that. But now, like, I gotta be honest, it's really taking my toll with like my kids' side. You know what I mean? Like, we have to finish this like school project, and I'm just remembering this stuff. I'm like going, I don't want to do this shit right now, dude. And it's like, even till this day now, it's like 25, 30 years later, I'm like still like, fuck, I gotta do this shit. You know, like, homework sucks, but that's the way it's always been. And it's kind of crazy because like education is important, but it's not like I'm being real now. It's like, it's not as important as everybody cracks out to be, like, man, dude, everybody that we look up to all failed the fucking system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird. Like, most of my friends, or if not all, are either owning their own business or on the way to owning their own business. You know what I mean? Like I guess I'm just attracting that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. It's weird. Like every single one of my people's like they're just doing their own thing.
You got to be around winners, dude. You got to be around that energy. Yeah. It's infectious for sure.
Sure.
And that's why I always like to talk with you, man. I consider you one of my OGs, bro. And
appreciate it.
Anytime I ever,
I feel like, damn, man, that makes me sound so.
No, dude. When I came into this, you were already the man, you know. And out of anybody that I've ever come into contact with in the race community, you've always been somebody that's treated me with respect from the beginning, and not since I can give something to you. I have a company, I have a following. It was before I even had anything, and it's never changed since then. And I love having these conversations with you, man.
Yeah, me too, man. I think it kind of gets it out there, you know, like little by little. Episode 3, right?
Yeah, the third time, man.
So much more to talk about, man. Like badass stories too, you know. So
we got a lot of memories that we got to go over, but we got a lot of memories that we got to create, man.
Sure.
Hopefully we can meet up with you at some event this year.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to come out to World Cup. I've never been before.
Gotta do it.
I want to come out.
Gotta do it. It's a different vibe, man. It's a world of like complete and utter organized chaos.
Yeah,
that's what I can probably describe it as. And for the fan interaction, as for the racer interaction, it's unbelievable. I think Jason Miller has provided that because of how much he's passionate about it. And you see that through event coordinators, right? Event promoters.
Yeah,
like you could feel their passion.
Yeah,
in their whole segment and their venues. You know what I mean? And if you don't have that, you can see that it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
No,
like you
definitely.
can feel it. Like it's more like it's.
You can see if it's a money grab.
Yeah, it's different intentions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could totally feel it. You know, that's why it's like, if you're gonna really be an event promoter, be really about what you're trying to protrude out. You know, whether it be car shows, drifting, drag racing, whatever it might be. If you're gonna do it with passion. You know, and it's gonna ultimately resonate down to your fan base and your clientele and your people that are paying to get through the door. No,
definitely, man. Just somebody that that can resonate with that is Javier from H Day.
Guy's a street racer, man. He's a born and bred drag racer, dude. That's just the way he is. You know?
Events just get better and better every year, and every time that I speak with him around SEMA, I could just see him cooking up plans for the next year.
He's gotten really good within the last I guess decade.
I love it, man.
It's been really good. I mean, we all grow, you know, when I watch him and I listen to his podcast. I think it's a really big insight to how he opened up and, you know, and pretty much gave you the ins and outs of his personal life, which he doesn't really do, you know. And I thought that was very commendable for him, and I had mad respect for that. You know?
Man, I'm looking forward to having a part 2 with him, because it was a quick one.
You should do it with Brian from ESR.
Yeah, you know Brian is fucking so busy all the time.
Yeah, man, he's just he's balling out, being in Hawaii and all this stuff.
Yeah,
man.
Congratulations to Brian. They're expecting a baby very soon. He's killing it with the NASCAR stuff. He's always busy, man, especially whenever I see him is during an event, and he's just on go.
He's passionate about it. That's why.
So whenever we get a chance, I would like to speak with him after the baby's born to get all of that. But Brian's that's my guy, bro. But shout out to him. Shout out to Javier. You know, H Day's coming up April 4th and 5th in Maryland. At the same track as World Cup, which is awesome, man. Are you gonna go out to that?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna try to do my best to get out to that, but yeah, man. Hopefully, man, he brings his venue statewide. You know, that's the ultimate.
Well, there's the third event. Nobody knows where that one's at yet, so everybody's waiting for that one to drop. I'm excited about that. I got a really dope Airbnb that's like right around the corner from the track, and that's like my secret little spot now, dude. I'm about to book that shit. I already booked it for H Day.
Nice. I've already booked my rooms for World Cup.
No shit.
Yeah, man.
So you guys don't stay in a trailer or anything?
No, I think this year we might have an RV and the rooms.
Got you.
But that's all. We'll see. But we used to do the Airbnb stuff, but the Airbnb's caught on, man. They're fucking taxing, nasty. You know, like you would literally get the same equivalent, pay out like more expensive, right? But you have a house that's really you still gotta clean after yourself.
Yeah.
So the amenities for the hotel is much better.
Definitely,
and it's actually a little more affordable now.
Yeah.
So we stay at the Marriott, and it's great. We get free breakfast in the morning, so it just works out. Time schedule wise, everything works out. They open 5:45 in the morning. Breakfast, boom, eat, straight to the track. You know,
Dope.
get on there and get after it early. So, yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, man, dude, you guys got to get out there, go to all the events that you can, even though like there might be some wishy-washy homies that don't want to go, and just, you know,
go by yourself. Fuck
yeah,
it.
man,
Just
got to go, you know, got to support these guys, because at the end of the day, that's how it really is, man. You have to go, you know, no matter what, you know, no matter differences you have, you got to go, you know, you got to get after it.
You got to support, man. You got to support these people that are putting their
especially in California, because, man, we're running out of tracks, you know, and testing too and stuff like that. Just try to get out there, you know, like anything you can do.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of California, we got Tuner Evo. That's coming up, which is kind of not really your demographic, but it's going to be dope.
I want to go to car shows now, dude. But it's just so tough because, like, nobody in my feed talks about it.
Yeah.
Like, if you tag me, I'm fucking going. You know what I mean? Like, I will go. You know, I'll make every point to go to anything out there, you know? It's just...
Yeah, I always try to keep my ear to the streets, and there's certain shows that I like to support that I just, you know, either know the event coordinator or just see the struggles that they're going through, that trying to make their whatever they're doing go on. Just like I'm trying to make Downstar go, you know, these guys are trying to make their thing go, and I like to support, you know. So shout out to Tuner Evo, my guy Jay. It's March 15th on Sunday at the Anaheim Convention Center, which that's going to be dope. We're going to be there. We'll have a booth, and we're working on some other things to do. Nice. And then we got we got
IFO on March 15th, unfortunately. So
that's Vegas. In Vegas. Got you. So Good luck there, man. That'll be dope. Man. So if you guys are in the Vegas area, make sure you check out IFO, and then you should really come out to IBOC if you can.
Yeah.
That's on April 25th, I believe.
Who's the promoter? John?
Ryan Hagner. Yeah, shout out. That's my brother, man. Shout out to Ryan Hagner. That's going to be our first stop for IBOC meet. Is in SoCal. I attended
last year, but we're in the area CP booth.
The CP booth. What is that?
CP Carrillo booth.
Oh, got you. The Pistons booth.
Yeah, we displayed. We didn't race.
Yeah. So that's IBOC. It's the 26th. So IBOC is in the 26th. That's going to be pretty dope, man. And then we're going to be going to Florida in Orlando for IBOC out there.
Florida, man.
Hell yeah,
dude. Okay, this is me, right? I sponsored GRS series in Florida for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I think 3 years I sponsored that class, that front wheel drive class. And I haven't even been through one of them, man. Damn. I feel terrible. But it's so hard to get away like that, you know. But I think we're gonna make every point to try to make it after World Cup. Yeah. So we're gonna leave the truck and trailer there, and then fly back home, and then, you know, make sure everything is good. Fly back in, drive the truck and trailer down, and go to the Florida event.
Dope.
At the end of the year.
I love Florida, man. That area is just booming with customer supporters, and I love it, man.
For sure.
March 14th or 15th and 16th, we'll be out there at it's at UTI. So in Orlando at the UTI Center, really? It's right there. Sick, man. So I'm looking forward to going there. I'm gonna be podcasting like crazy. I want to stop by.
I'll try to see if I can get out there.
If you can, that'll be sick, dude. I want to go by a Chapulin shop, check out the cars and things like that.
That guy's a beast, bro.
Fuck yeah! Shout out to them, man. Him and his wife is just like a dream team right there, bro. Yeah.
And then Abe is now tuning it, and the thing is, it still has potential, which is crazy. You know, like I told people, like that's gonna be the car to beat. You know, like him and La Fluffy and the Import DPS guys. Those are the guys that.
Yeah, shout out to Import DPS as well, man.
Fluffy and Rome and all those guys over there. Just those guys are beasts, bro. Like if you want to be on a competitive level, you have to like lose sleep.
Yeah,
because those dudes don't sleep at all. Like they're on another level, dude. They're just all about that, you know, and you can just see them bleeding it. So in order for you to beat them, you gotta out sleep them, you know, like as hard as that's to say, shit, man, I love sleep, you know, like 4 or 5 hours, I gotta have it. But these guys are like, it's cool, we go on for like 3 weeks before we shut our eyes.
Crazy. Like, that's dedication, man. That's what it takes to get to that level. Crazy. Shout out to all those people.
Yeah, and I got beat by one of them this past weekend, man.
Did you?
Flat out got beat. I was like, fucking Abe, man, he whooped my ass, dude. I'm like, okay, I got it. I got you, you know? And he helps us out so much too, man. He's a great influence and a great tuner, and he's very knowledgeable. And
where's he based out of?
He's based out of Philly.
Really?
Yeah, he's out there. He's with he's pretty much import DPS too.
Maybe we could get him on the podcast one day. That would be sick.
Yeah, man. He's very smart, man. He blew my mind. He made me learn a couple things. That's for sure. I love it, dude. So it's good. I applied it, and I'm utilizing that knowledge every day. I just, I learned something new. And that's all I strive for.
Dope, man.
So
we got to go eat.
Yeah.
What are you trying to eat?
Anything else we got to talk about? You got any
I think we
fucking can run through.
we pretty much ran through everything, man. Yeah. I mean,
dope.
there's we can go on forever, dude.
Yeah.
You know how these podcasts. I think every one that we've ever done was over 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's sick, man. It's dope to sit down here with you, pick your brain, and hear things from your perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
It's really different now, like when we first started, than to now. It's like we actually grown together in doing this. You know what I mean? It's different.
Yeah, and I hope people, they could listen. You listen to the first one we did, the second one, and then this one.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to grow. I don't like to look at things like I know everything. Every day I'm trying to learn something new, and all I'm trying to do is just be the best version of myself, because I'm trying to leave a legacy for me and my family, and for people to remember us as somebody who was just trying their best. Yeah. And that's all I can ask for.
So happy, was it Thursday?
Yeah.
Happy Thursday.
Sales on today. Make sure you guys check it out.
Check it out.
FCSRace.com, 20% off. Use code, what was it again?
Tax20.
Tax20, 20% off until everything sells out. That could happen hopefully today.
Yeah.
Then you'll have a busy weekend.
It'll be fun times, man. Fun times.
I love it, man. So before we get out of here, where can people find you at?
You can find us at Instagram at FCS Race, and on Facebook, it's facebook.com/FCS Race page. As well as you can hit me up personally, Twitter, all the same, at FCS Race. And then if you want to email us, same thing, sales@FCSRace.com.
Dope, man. Hopefully we get to see some of you guys out at one of the events.
Yeah, make sure you come by, say hello.
Like I said, Tuner Evo's coming up March 15th, and then that's the same day as IFO in Vegas. Then we got H Day in Maryland, April 4th and 5th, and then the 26th is IBOC Meet in California.
Wow. I think we have like a congestion of events now. Before it wasn't like that. Now March is like the thing. The March and April, May is like, holy shit, dude, it's usually pretty laxed, like now it's like we have 3 events in March alone. We're gonna have 3 race events in March alone if we go to them. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to go to Arizona. We might do it, we might not. It all depends on like what we need to repair and what we need to fix, which is very minor. But then March 15th, and then we have Honda Experience at the end of March too at Bakersfield. So it's gonna be a busy March, with that, and then also the sale. So that's why we stockpiled now. It's just like, I said I could feel it already, I could feel that, but I love it, I love the pressure.
The grind, man.
Yeah, the grind.
I love it. I wish you the best, dude.
Thank you, man.
Hopefully the sale goes good. Hopefully you sell out.
Awesome.
And FCSRace.com, guys, 20% off. Make sure you use the code. I can't even.
And also we're going to release a new website.
No shit.
Yeah. The website is going to be released, I think, on or before that sale date. So we're gonna test it out before then and make sure everything is seamless. But then after that, we're gonna have a whole new look on the page. You guys should go check it out. We're gonna kind of do some rough tests on it and beta tests on it, and That's going to be super dope, man. My guy, I really don't want to put his name out there because you probably bombard him with questions too. Yeah. If you don't get like a 30-second reply back from me. So not just yet, but just I just want to put it out there. Thank you so much for helping me out, man. You're just you're a huge asset to me and my company. So
now it's the same guy that's doing the social media?
Mm-hmm.
Sick. Yeah. I got to reach out to him, bro.
All my things now. I love it. Yeah, he's the man. So he's an up-and-comer. He's gonna be growing his business too. I'm sure that it's gonna be in that direction. So if you guys need sites done and media marketing and all those stuff, this guy's the man. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's gonna kill it real soon. I think it's gonna be put out there pretty soon, and pretty soon he might be his own entrepreneurial ways and just creating his own businesses and stopping what his 9 to 5 is already, because he does work.
That's somebody that I look forward to having a conversation with at H-Day. Yeah. I'm really stoked. If anybody listening, if you guys want to have a conversation when H-Day comes out, make sure you reach out to us at Downtime with Downstar. You can hit me up, Frank_Downstar or Downstar. You know where to find us, man. But Jason, thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in another 40 episodes.
yeah, for sure.
Once again, guys, this is Downtime with Downstar, episode 144, and we out. Peace.
See ya.